Check one, two. Check one, two. We are live. We're live. We're live. We're live. Let's see. Check one, two. Check one, two. Check one, two. Let's go. Y'all, welcome in. Miranda's in the building. What's up, Miranda? How you feeling today? Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing amazing today. Matthew is in the building. Let's go, y'all. We are getting things flowing here, getting things set up. Let's make sure this is refreshed, and then we will dive in. It's been a day. I feel that. I hope it gets better. I'm headed to the gym now. How's yours? Mine was flipped. Went to the gym earlier this morning, and still been a day, but I'm happy to be on for a little bit. Lisa, thanks for tapping in. Lisa Smeeks, I hope you're doing amazing. Welcome in to the stream. If y'all are coming in over on TikTok, do me a favor, Patrick. I see you. Thanks for tapping in. Do me a favor and tap the screen, share out the live, repost the live, send in a heart me. It does really help out the stream quite a bit. We're gonna get rolling with some of y'all's music here in just a little bit. I'll explain the live in the next 5-6 minutes, but I just want to chat for a little bit. Just want to get things rolling here on the different platforms, and then we'll kick things off in the next couple minutes. But I appreciate y'all tapping in. Hope y'all are doing amazing today. Zay's in the building. What's up, Zay? Welcome in. How y'all feeling today? If y'all are coming in for the first time too, let me know the kind of music that you make. Let me know if you, or let me know where you're joining from. Brian's in the building. I appreciate you tapping in. Arch is in the building. What's up, Arch? Thanks for tapping in. Megalodon, Keith is in the building. Brian Brooks, appreciate you tapping in as well. Check out the Foo RPT MCK, not my music, but some Viet song. Greneasy, welcome in as well. Yeah, well, I'll open up submitting music here in just a moment. In fact, you can at the link in my bio if you would like to. You'll see the consultation lane if you want to get into the deep, kind of the deep dive into your music, or if you want to join the free line, of course you can. Of course you absolutely can. Will's in the building. Scott, appreciate you tapping in as well. Namaste, welcome in as well. Appreciate y'all joining. Welcome into the stream. How y'all feeling today? Juan's in the building. What's up, Juan? Welcome into the stream. Welcome in. Lift Maxing in the building. BTBH, thanks for joining. Fizzy's back in the building. GJ, welcome into the stream as well. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Andre, welcome in as well. I appreciate y'all joining. The background is looking fire, by the way. Thank you, Miranda. In fact, hold on. These aren't plugged in right now. These little guys back here. They're not plugged in right now because I am in the middle of getting some new stuff in here. So hopefully today, tomorrow, hopefully, or maybe this weekend, depending on a couple things. Resolve, welcome in. I'll be ordering a couple new synths, which will be very, very fun. The drum selling, I sold them. I sold the drums. Same thing. I have a bunch of new stuff that's supposed to be coming in. Hopefully the next week or two. So I have a new drum set coming in. New cymbals. I already have some cymbals here, just different sets, different random stuff that I have, but new pack of cymbals coming in, a new drum set coming in. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. A couple new synths, a couple rack units coming in as I'm selling some stuff, getting some stuff out of here. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped. It's so much fun. I can't wait to post about it. I can't wait to finally get everything kind of organized in here. I got a new, I was able to swap out some of the amps and stuff that I had in here as well. Got rid of a bunch of the old stuff, and I got my AC-15, the special edition AC-15 back in here. So the guitars are sounding nuts. The synths are going to be amazing. I'm so excited. What's your preferred genre? No sugarcoat. It's too hard to talk about preferred sometimes. Blake, I appreciate this submission. Thanks so much for tapping in. Nitro, I see you as well. I appreciate it. So favorite is so, what's up, Stan? Favorite is so tough. Favorite is challenge. I don't know. I listen to a lot of different stuff, and I also work on a lot of different stuff. I like synths. Bro's about a sugarcoat. What do you mean sugarcoat? I don't. There's no feeling. There's no feelings involved in the genre of music that you like. I'm not. Sugarcoating doesn't even make sense. It doesn't that doesn't even make sense to me. I love synths. I've played piano since I was 6 years old, classically trained pianist. Played synths and keys for the vast majority of my life. Multiple decades of playing keyboards and synthesizers and stuff like that. With the music that I work on, the music that I enjoy listening to and stuff like that, to me involves synths usually in some way. I like a lot of like dark wave, synth wave stuff. I like Time Cop 1983. I like Kavinsky. I like Mike Dean, The Midnight. Adriatic is great. Benign, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. You talk really fast. Are you on anything? ADHD. Like your daily driver when you listen to music. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing for me is like I'm working on music all day. So the daily driver is not specific. I guess it would just depend on if I'm working out, if I'm but I don't like consume a ton of music just to consume music, just because I'm constantly working on it. That's what I do full time. So that's the other side is I just don't I'm not out here like listening to every new album that's happening and stuff like that. Do you use Audio Mac as well? I do not use Audio Mac. Do you like Fran's List? I don't believe I've heard it before. But you talk really, no, I'm not on anything outside of just having brutal ADHD that causes my brain to move very, very, very fast. Okay, sure. Let me see. What are you doing in this live? We're talking about music. We're breaking down music. If you go to my link in my bio, you'll see a couple stages in there, or a couple little tabs in there, where you can either submit your music for a full, detailed, long-form, analytic, 20 to 30-minute consultation if you want to do that. And we also have a free line if you want up to a 2-minute listen and some quick notes on your music. But the consultation side is where we really dive into the structure of your music. We're going to dive into those in here in a couple minutes, but we'll of course also get into some free line as well. Dean Grant in the building. I'm a new artist and trying to get my music out there. Welcome in, Dean. What kind of music do you make? BTBH, do you review music? Yeah. So there's the quick side if you want to do the quick side for free. But then the paid side is long form consultations. So they're like 20 to 30 minutes, multiple listens to your song, really getting into the details of mix, production, sound design, stuff like that. Got you, Stan. I appreciate you so much. Yep, I'll upload everything here in just a second. Everything should be updated on the list over at the link in my bio as well. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Drew, welcome in. Arva, thank you for the follow. Hold on. Ooh, let me see. Sorry, TikTok keeps kicking me back down every time someone comments. So I'm trying to see. Sure, MV7 with the Scarlett 4th generation is a good setup. I mean, so the good setup part to me just really depends on what works for you, the budget that you have, the style of music that you make, your environment. That's a fine microphone with a fine interface, and I think if that's what you are able to use right now, then use it to its max, and just use it until you feel like you have personally reached a pain point in your process that those tools no longer allow you to accomplish what you're trying to do. Right? That's what I've done with literally everything that I've ever had here in this studio, and I have a bunch of random stuff in here. Whether it's like, I mean, I remember when I was first starting to build up a small guitar collection and stuff like that, tracking in a couple different spaces, and I ran into a pain point at one point because I had like 2 or 3 different artists that reached out to me to do some session work. I work full time as a session musician in addition to production and mixing and mastering. So they were hiring me to play guitar in their tracks, and there was a couple people that wanted a track, but they wanted a hollow body, and I'd been wanting to get a hollow body for a long time. And so what I ended up doing was like, okay, I have 3 people. They're going to be paying me a couple $100 each to do some session work for their songs that I was tracking guitars for. So I literally bought the hollow body guitar, booked those sessions, and used that to literally pay for the guitar, and the guitar was free within a week. And so like it's the same thing with any of your gear. If you're like, man, I just got this preamp, or I got this mic, or this interface in the case of kind of what you're talking about, and it's like I feel like I'm running into this issue of this thing that I just whether my knowledge or my skill set or my environment is not allowing me to step past it, and I really want something that feels a little bit more in line with what you're trying to do with your music. Then that's when you can upgrade. But MV7 is fine, nothing wrong with it. It kind of just depends on what you're looking for. Scarlett's fine, there's nothing wrong with it. Just kind of depends on where you're pointing your money, where you're pointing kind of the way that you build your music. music. How old are you, and how long have you been actively or physically making music? I'm 32. Oh, I had to think for a second. I'm 32 years old. Quick synopsis of my making music journey. And thank y'all for the. Sorry, I see some roses as well. I don't want to miss any of the gifts. Thank you so much for the roses and the gifts, y'all. I appreciate that a lot. I've been making music. I say my whole life because genuinely feels like it's been my whole life. I'm 32 years old. I started playing drums when I was 4. I was a classically trained pianist from the ages of 6 through 19. I've been playing ever since. Synths, keys, and stuff like that. It's a big part of my session business. But yeah, I've been playing piano since I was 6 years old. I taught myself guitar when I was 8. I taught myself how to record on Pro Tools when I was 12, and I've been producing and working in Pro Tools ever since then. And then I did a more classical training in audio engineering, where I spent a 2.5 year private mentorship at a studio where I trained in audio engineering, live sound tracking, studio work and stuff like that. Was a runner there for a while, and then started doing some assistant engineering there at that studio. And since that point, that was probably about 14 years ago, something like that. Since that point, I've been working professionally in music. Obviously, that starts slow. Like when you first get out of the studio, it's a brand new world out there. So it's like one client at a time, one band at a time, whatever it may have been. Or doing a lot at the time, I was doing a lot of live mixing too for venues, organizations, churches, parties, whatever stuff like that. And that's how we kind of got introduced into starting to do some paid stuff in music. And now I work full time, and have for years, as an audio engineer, as a mixing and mastering engineer. But more prominently is production work and session work is the stuff that I really love. I love the engineering side too. It's really fun for me, but it's not the creative side that I enjoy the most. I really like doing session work. I like playing synths. I like playing keys. And of course, I like full scale production and stuff like too. It's super fun for me. Thank you. I appreciate you. Living the dream. Yeah, it's one of those things where it is my dream. Here's the way I'll say it. And Taylor, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. There's nothing else that I would rather grind at than music, right? Music is it's so volatile. It can be scary. I mean, there's months where I've got a ton of projects. I've got everything, tons of stuff going on. And then there's going to be little dry spells in there that you got to fill in with some other work. You got to fill in with some other creative choices and be like, okay, let me try to book a couple other sessions this way. But there's nothing, that's any job, right? That's any other creative form. That's any other, gig economy kind of thing that you're doing. So for me, it's man, if I'm going to be hustling at something and grinding at something and working at something, I'd rather do something that I genuinely am passionate about, good at, have experience in. And so I'm very, very grateful to do music full time. Rachel, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm very grateful to do music full time, but it's also terrifying. It's also it can also be a very scary, very frustrating process as well. Let me see. Onyx, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you so much. Now that's a lot of keyboards. Kenzo, believe it or not, this is a third of them. I have, so on the other side, so back here, you can see some of them, obviously. I've got the Juno 106, the DX7, the SQ1 Plus, the Poly D. Over here, you can't see it. I don't think I have a mini log, which I might sell soon, actually. And then I have that's one of my sequencers down there, which is the, what is it again? Oh yeah, the KeyStep Pro. And then over here, I have the SK1. I have a PSS 170. I have a Pro 1, a Pro 800, and a K2. And on the way I have 2 or 3 more synths that are going to be here in the next week or two. I love synths so much. I love it so much. It's literally my favorite thing in the world. For real, making it happen, no matter what. Yeah. It's you just got to do it. You know what I mean? Do you have experience mixing and mastering EDM? Some. I've done a lot more production consultation and collaborative production and session work for EDM and electronic music. I've consulted and worked collaboratively with tons of electronic, really good DJs and electronic artists and stuff like that. I haven't done a ton of mastering and stuff like that with EDM. I know about it. I've worked with the people. I'm very close with those people. But that to me is it's not a world I'm super, super, super familiar with as far as the mastering work that I've done. If you love synths, you'll love Canadia. I play Moog sub 37. I almost got, so I have a grandmother on the way, and I almost went the route of a 37, but the 37 ended up being kind of redundant with some of the other stuff that I have in here. One getting the grandmother and one having the Poly D, which is a mini Moog clone. And that's one of the only reasons why I didn't go the route of a sub 37. But it is a fantastic synth, especially obviously being able to have some recall. I think that is great. I would say it's a soulful. Oh, sorry, I know I'm missing a whole bunch of comments. Sorry, guys. TikTok keeps. I try to scroll up to see them, and then it keeps kicking me back down every time there's a new comment. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Are blues genre still alive today? Is it more poppy EDM song? Every genre is alive. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Every genre is alive. It's just different audiences. Don't look at billboards. Don't look at iTunes chart. There's people making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in every genre across the world in all different places. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Need a producer to bring my ideas to life. Indie Brazilian singer and writer. Would you work? Yeah, 100%. But I work with any genre, any stylistic decision, any language, anything like that. Just shoot me a message. That's all it takes. I'm not here to promote myself. We're going to dive into some music here in a second. I'm not here to necessarily promote myself, but yeah, more than happy to work with absolutely anyone. That's what I do full time. Let's go. Canadian Mel. That's Canadian right here. Beautiful. Let's go. I'm so excited. Sorry, let me catch up on just a few questions and then I'll explain the whole live stream. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. I use the Tascam Model 12 for recording, the best piece of equipment I ever purchased for recording. That's great because you get the digital multi-tracking. That's awesome. And it's essentially, for those of you who don't know, the Tascam Model series, the 12, what is it, like 12, 16, and 24, and then they have the 2400, they're basically an audio interface as well, USB interface as well, but you can actually multi-track. It's not just stereo out, which most mixers with USB, and I've had several. I had a Mackie Pro FX that had USB. I've had Behringer mixers that were USB. And those, they only do stereo out, which is, this is fine if that's all you need. But it can be nice to be able to multi-track where you run your drums, you run guitars and everything in there. You do live shows and stuff like that. And then, and be able to multi-track, which is really helpful. So the models are great for that. My only complaint, which they only have on the Model 2400, is it's not post circuit. So you can't get, it's not post channel strip, essentially. So on the 12, 16, and 24, you're not able to actually print compression and EQ, which I wish you could do because they have a nice, I think it's a Clark Technic, like British EQ or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But it's like a good quality EQ and you have some like good effects and stuff in there. The 2400 is the only one that you're able to print that in post, which is pretty nice. I would like to be able to like do tone shaping, mixing drums and, actually putting some stuff in, and then be able to actually print it with like a kiss of, compression on there, a little tone shaping and, high passing and stuff like that. But still great. I mean, those 12s are still great. If you just need to get ideas out, get stuff in there. I think it's fantastic. Limac, thank you so much for tapping in. I appreciate y'all being here. I know we got to get into music. I know we got some people coming in. Give me a quick second to refresh, and then we're going to go straight into the music. Blake Tyler in the building. Blake, I appreciate you so much. Stanley, I got you. Nolden, I got you as well. Thank you so much. And we're starting to fill up the other lines as well. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Well, now it's rare to see songs like Blinding Light, a modern touch to 80s kind of song. I mean, there's a lot out there. To be honest, there's a lot. I mean, I would say that a lot. Like I love the 80s. The 80s is my favorite era of music for a lot of different reasons. Let's go, Justin, for a lot of different reasons. But to be honest, like a lot, like if you listen to like half of the top songs on the charts, like especially like pop charts, R&B charts and stuff like that. The vast majority of like listen to like even just like the randoms, like listen to Sabrina Carpenter, right? Half of her songs are really heavily 80s influenced. Listen to Joe. Though they have like very, very heavily like 60s, 70s, 80s sound design influences. And these are huge. These are billion stream songs. These are hundreds of millions, tens of million streams on songs. Huge artists with, 20, 40, 60, 80 million monthly listeners. A lot of them are very, very heavily influenced, if not sounding very much so like, especially Joe's music, 60s and 70s stuff. Very much so influenced and very, very emulated of like older genres and stuff like that and other eras of music. Okay. Let's get into it. Right. Thankfully, y'all have been great. Y'all found exactly where to go already. But let's go ahead and dive in, and we'll get into some of the details here. And y'all feel free to ask questions in between as well. Every couple tracks, we'll dip into the free and we'll go back, which are the quick listens, and then of course, we'll do our best to get through as many tracks as we can today as well. I'll try to answer some questions in between as well because I know a lot of people will drop questions in the chat. I want to make sure that we get to as many of y'all as possible. Let me see. Okay, I need some. I just realized I don't have my water. Give me a moment. Just give me 30 seconds. I'm going to grab my water because at the end of these live streams, hours later, I can't talk and I lose my voice and I can't do that. So give me a second. I'm going to go grab my water. We'll be right back. And then I'll explain kind of the whole structure of the live stream, what we're doing. And then we'll dive into the music. All right. Give me one second. Right, we're back. We're back. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. All right, let's get into some music. Soon I had become trash. Oh, with their update before it was better. You're actually so lovely. I can't wait for this. This usually I'm like 80th in the queue because I missed them. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I appreciate you tapping in. Crazy that you're a human who needs water. It's so true, man. I kind of wish we didn't, man. It's another like curse of ADHD is I'll literally forget to eat and drink. Where it's obviously that's kind of necessary. it's kind of a necessary thing we have to do. I'll get so hyper focused on a subject, or whether I'm like researching something, I'm looking something up, I'm working on a project, I'm mixing whatever it is, and I'll just hone in and before you know, I'm like, have I eaten today? Like, this is not good. This is not ideal. Anyway, so I'm gonna, I gotta do my best because otherwise y'all hear like my voice is already kind of hoarse from yesterday. So anyways, I'll do my best to make it through the stream today. Thankfully, I don't think I have any vocal sessions. I don't think I have any vocal sessions this week. Actually, I am supposed to record vocals. I'm supposed to record vocals for a sick, like chill house, like EDM electronic producer and DJ. He's a monster. I'm supposed to record vocals for him maybe this week or next week. We'll see. I might have to postpone. I've been losing. My allergies are crazy. It's Texas. They're brutal. Space, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. No, literally, I'm like, wait, why do I have a brutal headache? I'm like, oh yeah, I've had nothing but coffee today. It's not good. It's not ideal. But let's get into the live here. Let's get it. Mike the Mad in the building. What's up, Mike the Mad? Sorry, I haven't been. I've been looking all over the place. Mama Bird never left. Appreciate you tapping in. Welcome in. Appreciate you being there, Mike the Mad. Good to do you. Sup, dude? What's up? And shout outs to Texas. Yeah, shout outs to Texas. Texas is brutal for a lot of things. For many different things. But it's also, it's also home for now. We've lived here. My wife and I have lived here for our whole lives. We're in Dallas for 2.5 years at a small studio in Dallas for the 2.5 years that we were there. But we're back in San Antonio now. The quality is insane. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, let's get into some music, y'all. Let me give a quick spiel. Let me give a quick spiel before we tap in. I'll explain kind of what we're doing here, what Track Talk is, what this live stream is. And then, of course, we're going to dive into some music. We're going to get into some music. We're going to listen to y'all's music that you represent, music that you're involved in. For those of you who have never been here before, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the family. I appreciate y'all being here so much. Just spending any amount of time with us, no matter what it is, it's an honor. I appreciate y'all being here so much. This is just a community of people that love music and love people that love music. That's what this whole environment, whole space is about. If you want to submit your music, everything's at the link in my bio, and you'll see two lanes there. One is, of course, our free line. For the free line, we'll listen to up to 2 minutes of your song and give a quick note at the end of it before we move on to the next track. But one of the main things that we actually do here on Track Talk, which we've done for the last 3.5 years, over 3.5 years now, are these consultations. Now, the consultations, if you pay and you get yourself in that line, these are 20 to 30 minute, multiple listen, deep dive consultations on the structure of your music. We're going to spend that 20 to 30 minutes going through your track a couple times in order to break down mix and master, production elements, sound design choices, lyric and song formatting. We're going to dive into the details and the nuances of what you're doing both creatively and practically within the structure of your music. Those are not quick reviews. There's no trash or pass. There's no ratings. There's no polls. It is strictly about getting into the nuances of what you're doing in your music and hopefully, ideally, offering some specific, professional, and actionable feedback on the structure of your music. For those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. I'm also a classically trained pianist. So the whole structure and perspective of this live stream is kind of from that perspective. It's kind of towards that space. We are not here to roast you and tear you down. We're not here to just like get you exposure. We're here to really dig into the music and really get into kind of the nuances of what you're doing. Once again, if you would like to submit your music for either one of those lines, the quick listens, or you want to get into the consultation side, all of that's at the link in my bio. That's also where you can check the queue, decide if you want to move forward, go faster, put yourself ahead, or whatever you want to do. That's obviously completely up to y'all. Lucas, welcome in. Dan the band, it's so good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing amazing today. Thank you so much for the heart me and the go populars, man. I always appreciate your generosity. And let's get into our first songs, man. Let's dive in. All right, let's see. Let me pull everything up here. We got Blake Tyler in the building. Blake Tyler, hop in the chat. Let me know where you're at. I gotta stop yelling, man. Sometimes, it's this brain, man. It's this brain. Sometimes it it's on its own, it's on its own wavelength. And before you know it, I'm like, dude, slow the fuck down, chill out, quiet up. All right, this is Blake Tyler. Trouble Ain't a Stranger. The song is from my unreleased album. Now, I've heard Blake before. I'm almost positive. I get confused with names. I do. I'm so sorry if you're like, dude, you heard me, the last 3 days in a row or something. I'm so sorry. I'm positive heard Blake Tyler's music though, unless it's just another very similar name. If I haven't, of course, please let me know. But I'm nearly positive that I've heard a couple of your songs already. But if not, of course, in any other context, give me some details. Talk to me about this record, the role that you play in it. What's happening as far as production structure, mix and stuff like that. Kid, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that so much. All right, this is Trouble Ain't a Stranger. This is a file upload, so I'm assuming it's unreleased. But yeah, give me some details. Let me know kind of where I can point my attention, and we'll get into it. Also, already some great Telecaster tone.
She's leading me into danger, always hiding in the wings. No trouble, ain't a stranger, but she sure as hell ain't been no friend to me.
What's up, Gordy? I wish mama, type exclamation point submit.
Woo! Hard times need hard lines, and these times got my nose itching. I kissed the devil just one time, now the hounds of hell are nipping. At my heels, one last meal, a Slim Jim before I go. But I gave her the slip round the Colorado lip, bought a little time for my soul. She's leading me into danger, always hiding in the wings. No trouble, ain't a stranger, but she sure as hell ain't been no friend to me.
Nah.
On a poke around, I doubled down, but I drank the only double I had. Now I owe quite a bit to a pimp named Slick, who's a quick on getting it back. He pulled his trigger, but I pulled mine quicker, like a 40 went hitting that floor. Saw a lady of the night that was giving me the eye, so we hightailed it out that door. Whoa. She's leading me into danger, always hiding in the wings. No trouble, ain't a stranger, but she sure as hell ain't been no friend to me. Woo-hoo.
Beautiful.
Flying away down a desert highway, got a lawman trying to make a name. He's got the cavalry, whole states after me, at least I'm going now with a bang. Between the sky full of choppers and the hooker and the coppers and the gas tank flirting with the heat. Guess I'm all out of luck, but hell, we had a good run, reckon this'll be the end of me. She's leading
love the Hammond in the background.
into danger, always hiding in the wings. No trouble, ain't a stranger, but she sure as hell ain't been no friend to me. She's leading me into danger, always
Thanks for the follow.
hiding in the wings. No trouble, ain't a stranger, but she sure as hell ain't been no friend to me.
Great tone.
No friend to me.
Woo! Come on, man. Love a little Hammond B3 in the background right there to ring out. Y'all show some love. Show some love. Is it Togi? Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, I reminded Cowboys and Guns about listening 100%. Y'all show some love to Blake Tyler. Someone mentioned AI. This is none of this is not AI. I hear a fair amount of AI, whatever. There, I hear a fair amount of it just because people send it in, especially to talk about songwriting and song structure and stuff like that. Very, very well versed in AI and understanding kind of what happens. EIO, AI, EIO, whatever. Whatever, but just some different vowels. I've heard a lot of AI music, so I'm very, very well versed in its artifact and its aliasing and kind of its effect on the different signals in there. So I'm not too concerned about that. But in this case, we are not listening to AI music. I can assure you that. Let's run it back from the top. Let's dive into some of the details, man, please show some love to Blake Tyler right here in the chat. Man, you're an absolute monster. It sounds phenomenal. There's a couple little details. I know this is off your unreleased album. I'm still assuming this is a final master as far as final masters go. It's just not in distribution yet. You're still working out maybe some details. You can, of course, let me know in the chat as well. But beautifully structured, man. Phenomenal vocal execution. Tone, baby. Tone on the guitar. I'm assuming that's a Telecaster on at least the left side there, handling most of your main riff and some of the soloing later on. It sounds absolutely phenomenal. So please show some love. Please show some love. Please show some love. Senator, are you going to listen to all of them today? It depends on how many people submit. I will typically listen to at least all of the different consultations that come in because those are longer and it's the bulk of what we do. Every couple songs we dip back into the free line to get a couple people heard. But like yesterday, I think we had 35 free songs, and that was on top of, I think, 13 consultations that we did. So there's no way for me to listen to 50 songs, especially with how long I take on the really, really deep dives that we do. There's no way for me to get to every single free song, and half the people here won't even be here then. A lot of people just like send in their song and they ghost. They just blast it to every live stream out there. So you just never know. You never know who we'll be able to pull from. It'll be kind of all over the place as far as like who's still here, who's still currently in that list, so on and so on. But let's run it from the top, man. Let's get into some of the details here. There's a couple things I want to break down, but these are very, very well structured song. Great musicianship, great structure. Sounds absolutely beautiful, man. Trouble Ain't a Stranger by Blake Tyler. It's off their unreleased album. Let us know when it's coming out if you already have distribution set up, so on and so on. But yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful structure. If you would like to check the queue, it's at the same place you submit. Everything's right there. So if you want to submit for consultation or the free line, see the queue, all of that's right there. All right, let's run it. And then actually really quick, if you're on the Purple, we're live on 3 platforms right now. Charlie's in the building. What's up, Charlie? If you're on the Purple app right now, starts with a T, you can type !submit if you would like to submit your music. If you're on the Red app, starts with a Y and a T, you can go to the description for the live stream and the link is right there. You'll be able to see where to submit for either consultation or the free line. Once again, the consultations that we do are 20 to 30 minutes. There are multiple times through the song. Like now, we're about to go back through it and chop through some different elements. The free line is just up to 2 minutes, and then we get a quick note at the end if we get to those. Okay. Server can't be reached. You can try it on another platform, Comp, and I appreciate you tapping in. Either go to TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, either any one of those there too. If the server can't be reached, everyone, I've already have 15 submissions in right now, so it's definitely working for people. So it might just be something for whatever reason over there, but it's the exact same link. So it might be either a Wi-Fi thing or just a regional thing. So you could try it maybe on Instagram. Look up Torvik Music. Maybe you'll see it there. Retrack Beats, good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing amazing. Charlie Haley, thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. All right, let's get into it, Blake. Let's get into it.
She's leading me into danger, always hiding in the wings.
Really, really nice, like 3rd and 5th harmonies right there. Beautifully, beautifully, beautifully structured. They're personal preference. Everyone has a different perspective and preference on stuff like this. There's a part of me, what it sounds like to me is kind of 2 things happening at the same time. One is you're kind of at the limits, especially if it is a master, we're at kind of the limits of our limiter. We're at the limits of our loudness kind of in the song right now. So there's not a lot of space to push anything forward. I would be curious what it would sound like to like give ourselves a dB or 2 of headroom and push the background vocals forward a little bit here. There's a couple great 3rd note harmonies and 5th harmonies that happen, but they're there and they feel more instrumental because they're so subtle compared to that vocal. It'd be nice to have a little bit more presence, a little bit more energy behind those vocals there, especially because these vocals start so incredibly strong, and overall, like the balance of everything, I think is absolutely beautiful. It's really, really well done. Really, really well done.
No trouble ain't a
Now that secondary comes in, that's a little bit stronger. So, again, this is a little bit of a tasting here too. There's an initial harmony on the left side that maybe could come forward, but that right one does come in really, really strong. I love the way that they sound. My intuition is that once the hook comes in, things get just kind of suppressed in the mix, right? Like there's so much energy in the structure of the song that things are, kind of getting drowned out by each other. They're getting disguised by other elements in the mix, but it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful harmonies.
no trouble ain't a stranger.
That right side comes in super, super sharp. Love it.
But she sure as hell ain't been no friend to me.
Beautiful. Oh, what a riff. That's a riff right there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful riff. I say this every time. I will probably say this 5 more times in this live stream, and I'll say it every single live stream. There's 2 things that you really, really need in the structure of your song in order to make sure that people remember it. And there's sub categories of this, but we need a vocal hook, a vocal melodic hook or a rhythmic hook, and we need an instrumental hook. Every song that you ever have loved and wanted to listen to because you loved it has had those things where there are recognizable elements of the song where the song kicks in and you know exactly what song it is. You know exactly the kind of the identity of the song and what you're listening to. Every song that we love. So I love this. That's a very distinct, clear hook. Absolutely beautifully done. On the instrumental side, obviously the vocal hook as you kick in is phenomenal. Sounds great. That's a fantastic hook. And the tone, baby, the tone is monstrous. It sounds out. It's just a little bit of edge, Fender twin breakup right there. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I love it. Woo! That's a great riff.
Hard times need hard lines, and these times got my nose itching. I kissed the devil just one time, now the hounds of hell are nipping. At my heels, one last meal, a Slim Jim before I go. But I gave her the slip round the Colorado lip, bought a little time for my soul. She's leading me into danger, always hiding in the wings. No trouble,
that's so good.
Stranger.
Yeah, I think what's happening. Erica, good to see you. Thanks for tapping in. It's good to see you in here. This is Blake Tyler, phenomenal artist. If you haven't heard him before, they do have music out. But they have amazing music. This is really, really good quality. Really, really good quality. But I think what's happening, maybe what some people are hearing too, is just that everything's kind of reached the limit and kind of saturation and limiting at the top right there. So that's where everything starts to kind of become one noise at the top of the mix. And you just start to lose a little bit of, I think, separation between some of those vocals. They're there and they're actually fairly prominent. They're there and they're loud and I can hear them in the mix, but they do all start to kind of meld together right there. Maybe if we're able to back off of, like I said, if we're really pushing the limit, if we're soft clipping, and we're really, pushing the loudness, and this is a very, very loud, I actually had to turn it down a decent amount just on the player right here. It is a very loud master. I'm curious at what your integrated is, but it's very loud, and I actually had to turn it down quite a bit, and it's still very punchy. So you might have a little bit of space. You know what I mean? Like if you're -6 LUFS on a country record, you might be able to back off a little bit and regain, I think, a little bit more natural. Again, and I don't even mean this necessarily as a critique, it's just an option. You might be able to back off some of the loudness battle here a little bit and regain better clarity and separation and like natural dynamic range between some of these elements. But that's just there's a little bit of an engineering taste thing here too. This is a brick wall of sound when it comes into this hook too, which that in and of itself can be a good thing. It makes it loud, it makes it powerful, makes it vibrant, but you do by default, because it is kind of smashed with, compression and limiting at the top, maybe some clipping, you are losing some separation because everything just kind of shatters at the top of the mix right there. Not necessarily a negative thing. It's something people try to do sometimes, but it does cause you to lose some separation, which is probably why you can't distinguish those other harmonies and layers maybe nearly as much. So yeah, maybe back off by a couple dB and just kind of open things up a little bit, and then it could be helpful to regain some separation there. Do you help to set up piano live stream with OBS? I'm really struggling. I need someone's help. I don't. That's not like a job description that I necessarily have, but I might. I can maybe be helpful. I will also say I've gone through hell with OBS. I'm sorry. I'm talking on YouTube for anyone who's confused me, like talking to a phantom on TikTok. I've gone through hell figuring out right now. Right now I'm streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok with 2 different programs, multi-streaming, and then also to TikTok Studio Live on the Mac. It's kind of a nightmare. So I just like kind of set it up, and now I just don't touch. I feel like if I don't move, it'll keep working. So I don't know if I would be like the most helpful, but yeah, OBS can be a trip. It can absolutely be a trip.
But she sure as hell ain't been no friend to me.
Great hook, come on.
On a fork around, I doubled down, but I drank the only double I had. Now I owe quite a bit to a pimp named Slick, who's a quick on getting it back.
This is clean,
He
man.
pulled his trigger, but I pulled mine quicker, like a 40 went hitting that floor. Saw a lady of the night that was giving me the eye, so we hightailed it out that door. She's leading me into danger, she sure as hell ain't been no friend to me.
Woo! So good.
Flying away down a desert highway,
Beautiful.
got a long man.
Yeah, I mean, the whole structure of this is beautiful, man. Great power, great presence. Your performance on the vocal, especially within this genre, is so clean. It's so transparent. It's so punchy. Tone on the guitar is gorgeous. Drums are snappy and punchy. Like, you're doing all the right things, man. You're doing all the right things. This is a beautiful record.
Trying to make a name.
Like whether like, you know, anyone like likes the style of music or not, you're executing in the style at a very, very high level, man. This is very polished music, man.
He's got the cavalry, whole states after me. At least I'm going out with a bang. Between the sky full of choppers and the hooker and the coppers and the gas tank flirting with the E. Guess I'm all out of luck, but hell, we had a good run. Reckon this'll be the end of me. She's leading.
You should be able to.
Danger. Always.
Libby's been having some trouble with the pins too. I don't know why. I don't know why, Retrack. I don't know why. There's been some issues with some of the pinning and stuff like that. I don't know if I need to reset something on TikTok. It's always a nightmare. But anyways, hopefully it starts working.
It's hiding in the wings. No trouble, ain't a stranger.
I am extra.
But she sure as hell ain't been no friend to me.
Woo!
She's leading me into danger.
There's those harmonies again.
Always hiding in the wings.
Woo!
No trouble, ain't a stranger. But she sure as hell ain't been no friend to me.
There's that riff. It's again distinct, powerful, punchy hook vocally, and that riff, the bum dun 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 dun. That riff, yeah, it happens like 3 or 4 different times, not counting obviously even the solo structure there, but it happens, 3 different times in the song, from the intro, interlude, and outro, to where the instrumental portion of this is almost just as recognizable as that lead vocal. So well done. I mean, great musicianship, great structure. It's a fantastic mix too. It really is fantastic mix.
No friend to me.
Little Hammond B3 wobbling in the background. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Y'all, please show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is the family right there. That's the family right there. Blake, Tyler in the building. Trouble Ain't a Stranger off their unreleased album. I hope it's coming out soon. As I tell you, if I ever heard with Chris, I said the same thing. It's so good. The tone is phenomenal. It's so well done. So well done. Carissa, appreciate you tapping in. Welcome into the stream. Yeah, beautiful. Is it Spides or Speedus? I want to make sure that I get it right. But Spides, thanks so much for tapping in again. Good to see you from yesterday as well. But everybody show some love to Blake. I got to crank the AC in here. I got to be honest with you. All of my lights and equipment are making me hot. They're making me hot. I got too many things on this rack over here or something like that. It is very warm in here, so I'm gonna turn up the. Give me a second. We're gonna turn up the AC. Quick reminder though, if you do want to submit your music, we're gonna keep going with some music here in a second. If you want to submit your music for a deep dive 20 to 30 minute breakdown, you can of course find that at the link in my bio. If you want to get into the free line for an up to 2 minute play, and a quick note at the end. Spideys. Okay, let's go. You can check the line. Check the line, because you'll know as a fact. Spides. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna make sure I get it right. But yeah, you can literally check the line at any point, and you'll see exactly where you are. You can decide if you want to move forward. You can decide if you want to chill where you're at, or get out of the. You can kind of do whatever you want there. Maddox, welcome in. Okay, give me a second. I gotta crank the AC. Daniel, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. All right, one moment, y'all. I gotta get this opened up over here. That's better. That's better. Song was so fire, he's got to turn the AC on. It is, I got the fan on too, man. It is just Texas, man. Jesus. It also is, I can't escape the gear's hot. I mean, my computer's hot, so my desk is hot, and I got lights on either side. I've got 2 processors and rack gear over here, and it's hot. It's hot in here. It's not ideal. And I'm in this little corner on this side of the room, and then it goes long the other way. it's toasty. It's toasty, and it's also South Texas, so it's brutal. ATX in the building. What's up, Daniel? Yeah, we're in San Antonio, just a hour and a half south of you. Yeah, San Antonio is hot as hell. It's humid and it's brutal. I mean, just step outside, you're immediately sweating. I hate it. I hate everything about it. Okay, let's run it, man. Let's keep it going right now. Let's keep it going. But once again, if you want to submit for a consultation, link in bio. Same thing with the free line, up to 2 minutes, and a quick note at the end. After this next song, we're going to we'll dip into the free line for a second, do a quick 2 minute, and then we'll get back into the rest of the line. We got Stanley in the building. Stanley, hop in the chat. Hop in the chat. Jessica, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Stan's in the building. Stan and Do right here. This is Focus by Stanley. You've listened to the song before. I changed the lyrics and got it mixed. Let me know what you think. Stan, quickly remind, because the situation changes for people, but quickly remind me the role that you play in your music as well. As far as like production and stuff like that, I know you said you got it mixed, so I'm assuming that's, it's third party, but yeah, let me know. Let me know kind of the role that you play in your music. We'll get into it, man. Did you do my song called Butterflies? Mass, if you want to submit, everything's at the link in my bio. You can do an up to 2 minute listen for free, or if you want a full 20 to 30 minute breakdown multiple times through your song where we dive into mix, production, sound design, lyrics, whatever you need, then that's on the same space there too, but those are paid. All right, let's get into it. This is Focus by Stanley. Let's dive in.
Yeah.
Got you.
This is my song. Yeah.
I know that sample.
Yeah. Girl, I'm thinking about it.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Girl, I'm thinking about it. Thinking, drinking, bands on me, you know this. Got me thinking I'ma throw it. Crying so hard it's flowing. I'm losing all this focus. Girl, I'm thinking about it. Thinking. Girl, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, drinking, bands on me, you know this. Got me thinking I'ma throw it. Crying so hard it's flowing. I'm losing all this focus on
Extra tone, I got you.
Got money on my mind to reflect my worldview. I'm feeling like my heart's been triggered. That feeling that be all in my mind, yeah. That feeling that I'm wasting my time, but I came for you. From just watching you. Tell me all the final words I'm scared to. Tell me while I'm wide awake, afraid to. No, fighting for you. From just watching you. Tell me all the final words I'm scared to. Tell me while I'm wide awake, afraid to. Focus, girl, I'm thinking about it.
Such a good hook. Super catchy.
Thinking about it. Thinking, drinking, bands on me, you know this. Got me thinking I'ma flow it. Blind so hard it's flowing. I'm losing all this focus on you. Girl, I'm thinking about it.
I got you on there, Extra.
Girl, I'm thinking about it. Thinking, drinking, bands on me, you know this. Got me thinking I'ma flow it.
Very catchy.
Blind so hard it's flowing. I'm losing all this focus on you. Money on my mind, game of chess is my move. It's feeling like a boss that's triggered.
Yeah, a little smoother, Extra.
All in my mind, yeah. That feeling that
everything's at the link in my bio. We're doing a consultation here, so if you want the deep breakdown like this, everything's in the link in my bio, or of course you can get in the free line as well.
Tell me all the final words I'm scared to. Tell me while I'm wide awake, afraid to.
What's up, Magic? Welcome in.
Tell me all the final words I'm scared to. Tell me while I'm wide awake, afraid to. Focus, girl, I'm thinking about it. Thinking.
I really like the modulation on the in the sample loop in the background too. The seventh. What's up, Doug? Welcome in.
Girl, I'm thinking about it. Thinking. Girl, I'm thinking about it. Thinking, drinking, bands on me, you know this. Got me thinking I'ma throw it. Grind so hard it's flowing. Got me losing.
What's up, Ryan? Welcome in.
Focus on you.
like the detuning there too. Let's go. Y'all show some of it. I actually heard the song before. I've heard early versions of it. I've heard early versions of the song before. Beautifully done. Y'all, please show some love to the family. It's Stan Adu, who's right here in the chat. I have it as focused by Stanley right here as well. Alice, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love the vocal layering. I upgraded my MPC 1 to a live 2, so I've been in the sunken land. He's out, man. It's out. Anytime I get something new, like I got some new stuff coming into the studio here this next week. And then I gotta dive in. Once I get some stuff in there, I'm gonna disappear for a day and just mess around with stuff, have some fun with it. It's gonna be great. Did you hear the little kind of melody artifacts? Or just my headphones playing tricks? There might be a little bit on there. There's also some issues with TikTok sometimes and pacing where instead of like glitching sometimes on TikTok, it'll like speed up and slow things down. It'll kind of warp things a little bit. There might be some of that in there or some phasing in there every once in a while. But yeah, we'll dive into some details here. But please show some love to Stan. You know we love what you do. Fixing to turn my basement into a studio. That's the dream, Erica. That's the dream. I love that. No, this was Stan Adu, the purple and pink right above you. But yeah, thank y'all so much for being here today. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Shout out to Stan. Welcome from Poland. I appreciate you tapping into the stream today. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. Really, really well done, man. This is already a huge improvement from the last time that I heard this record. So much tighter. The thing I'm aware of right now, how you deal with this is kind of up to you, right? I really like your voice. I like a lot of the writing in the song. I think the hook structure's chef's kiss. The hook is so catchy, good pattern recognition, good repetition overall. The hook is absolutely gold. It's like annoyingly catchy. And the main production structure is really good too. The thing I'm aware of is somewhat a lack of dynamic range. Like, that's one of the things that I'm just, it doesn't mean that anything is necessarily right or wrong about what we're hearing here. But the thing that you're going to have to kind of wrestle with a little bit is the fact that the song never really gets here and it never really dials back to here. It's kind of always right here in the middle, a very similar vocal register, very similar production structure. Even when you go from your second, I think it's the second hook into the second verse or something, like, because I think it's flipped or whatever, that verse, the hook into the verse, it's like nothing, like, the bass and the drums are exactly the same, the samples are exactly the same, just kind of just flow straight into it, and your vocal register is the same. So what I'm not saying is that you need to like change a whole bunch of different things happening in the song. Thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. But what I'm aware of is even really good things like what we have here can become monotonous if we hear too much of it, right? And the same energy, the same dynamic range, the same structure. So I'm curious about some ways we can dive into it a little bit, that we can kind of maybe wake it up, maybe wake it up a little bit more on the hooks, whether that's in vocal layering or maybe some little production layers you add on your own, whatever it may be. But let's run it from the top. And then quick reminder, if you want to submit, as some people are kind of asking in between, what's up, Shoebill? Appreciate you being here. Shoebill, appreciate you tapping in. The consultations like we're doing now, where we go back through, we chop through the song a couple different times. Those are at the link in my bio, of course. You can also get in the free line there if you would like to. That's up to 2 minutes for free. Just a quick note at the end. But if you want the deep dive, you want the whole detailed breakdown, that's on the consultation side if you would like to. All right, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. But I love the early introduction of the sample. I love the, you adding that energy to the vocal structure over the hook as well. Remind me really quick, if you can, Stan, if you have multi-track for this, how close you are to the production. Do you have the multi-track, or are you just mixing this off the 2-track? Just remind me really quick. Yeah. What's up, Deacon? Welcome in.
This is my song.
Good early introduction of the vocal there, though. Like, actually, reintroducing that vocal early, I think is great. 2-track, I'm pretty sure. Okay. One thing you could try to do, you'd have to, and again, I'm going to toss some stuff out here. You don't have to do any of it. You could really release it tomorrow as is if you want to. But some things that I'd be kind of curious about is actually taking this vocal sample. You do have this intro where you have those chords. You could actually just filter out all of the low end. Thank you for the heart, me. Filter out all of the low end out of the track, kind of remove a lot of those synths and isolate that vocal a bit more, even if you format shift it up. So just as an example, you could take that sample, format shift it up. You could use something like Lil Alter Boy or something like that. Grab that sample from early. Constantly getting the information. Please submit the valid link. Just make sure you're clicking the right thing, because you can send a link, you can send like Spotify, you can send like a WAV or an MP3, or you can send, there's a couple different ways that you can submit. So just make sure that you're doing, just make sure you're submitting it to the right, node right there, so that it goes to the right tab. That might be why. It might be like, it might be sending a link to the file, and so it's not registering or something like that. So yeah, just double check. Just double check that, and hopefully it works out. But yeah, one thing you could do is make sure that, add in the sample again, filter it out a little bit, format shift it up, and add it as a layer to your hook to give it just a little bit of a push, give it a little bit of energy on the hook, so it separates itself energetically and dynamically from the verses. I did everything right. I mean, everyone I have 19 submissions right now that went through fine. So I'm assuming there's one little missing piece to it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you want to try refreshing it or something like that, but just go back through from the beginning and then just double check and see if there's anything, because everyone else is submitting fine. And if there's any other issue or something like that, you can let me know if there's like a part that is not working. But yeah, just double check it for me. Double check it for me, because I haven't had any other issues with submissions. So I just want to make sure that it's all going to the right place. Yeah, I'll show you where. Okay, so this little part here.
Yeah, this is my song.
So this early vocal sample and this progression, you would take this exact part. What's up, Yucca? You would take this exact part of the production right here, filter out to where a lot of those synths aren't there, and then format shift the whole thing up to where it sounds, higher. Like now the sample is higher, it's thinner, it's a top, a little bit over, a little bit brighter than the top line there, and then layer that with your vocal and thinking about it when you're doing the full hook, right? Layer it under there. So now you have like another stack of the vocals right there. Another thing you can do in order to, again, make it maybe more energetic, more interesting, is have that in stereo. So filter out the synths as much as you can without it being too thin. And then bring it up to the top, format shift it up, and then like add a doubler to it, or like a stereo chorus to it would be nice as well, so that it feels nice and wide. It feels nice and open right there. I think all of them, because the thing that I'm hearing is that although it all sounds pretty damn good, the energy of the song is really consistent, and you just don't want it to energetically or dynamically flatline to where people hear a great thing, but then they get bored because it's a lot of the same great thing, right? And so that's kind of what I'm listening for. It's like, how can we make this kind of have some more peaks and valleys? I think adding a layer or multiple layers, like a nice stereo wide vocal sample that layers with your vocal, could be really helpful. You could even, quite literally use your vocal. You could literally sample your vocal if you want to. Just copy your vocal down to another track, format shift it up, maybe pitch it up an octave, add a stereo chorus to it, push it to the outside, and that's a layer over your whole hook. There's so many things you can do creatively. Obviously, that's completely up to you. I mean, your TikTok, YouTube was giving me too much ads. Yeah, it's on YouTube and Twitch, you can sometimes like bounce back and forth depending on which one has ads and stuff like that. Okay, but let's listen a little further. But I was hearing that sample and seeing if there's a way we could put it in there. But you could also just use your vocal to beef it up and then only have it on the hooks.
Yeah, girl, I'm thinking about it, thinking, girl, I'm thinking about it, thinking, drinking bands on me,
Because the thing that I notice here, again, strong hook, really strong production, strong hook, but the vocal is just kind of lonely in the middle of the mix. So I think having that stereo openness, having a layer of vocals, even if it's kind of samply, right, where it's a little bit brighter, it's an octave up, it's format shifted up, and it's in stereo, so you get this nice wide chorusing. Having that on the hook, to me, will make it feel less lonely in the middle of the mix. It's a good, strong lead vocal over the hook. Catchy as hell, you're doing all those things right, but it is just like missing some life. It's missing some extra energy in the hook, and I do think having some layering there, no matter how you do it, whether you use the sample, whether you use your own vocal, probably preferably your own vocal, and kind of sample that in the hook, then I think that could help, wake it up a little bit.
got me thinking I'ma throw it, grind so hard it's flowing, I'm losing all this focus.
There might be, I'm trying to listen for some other things too. There might be some layers there. If there are some layers there, just make sure that they're panned out. They're not collapsing in mono if they're duplicated or anything like that. Because I hear some stuff in the background, but it might just be like a mono reverb. So you might also want to make sure that your reverb's not in mono on your mono channel, but it's like being sent to a stereo track, so your reverb is nice and wide. Because I hear other things some other elements happening in the middle of the mix, but they all feel collapsed. They all feel kind of in mono. So if there's a reverb on that vocal, but it's kind of stuck in mono, it'd be nice to have that out in stereo as well. It'd be nice to maybe send it to a stereo delay or stereo reverb to where all that feels really open. In addition to maybe having the layers to support the vocal and the hook, pull them out for the verse. You get a little bit more of the, the more direct structure on the verse, a little bit more energy on the hook. Just start separating your dynamics a little bit better. Bandit and Bernie, thank you for the follows. I appreciate it.
Girl, I'm thinking about it.
Because, it's catchy. It's super, super catchy.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, drinking bands on me. You know this. Got me thinking I'ma throw it. Why so hard is flowing? I'm losing all this focus on around the world, but there's you.
It's like you can keep this drier, right? You can keep this a little bit closer and then separate the hook by only the hook, or maybe just portions of the verse, but only the hook has the stacks, it has the width, it has the chorusing, has a stronger, support system for the lead vocals. The dynamics feel fuller, and then you empty out a little bit for the verse. That's going to make the song feel like it has a little bit more push and pull, some ups and downs, and some movement there. I think would be really, really helpful to just making the song more interesting over the long term. Because the hook's good, production's dope, but it's like we got to maintain interest. We got to keep people's attention over the long term. To me, that's like the last thing I would focus on. Like I said, you're very, very close to the end of this. You're already working through mixed stuff. This is to me is like the kind of the last missing piece to just making sure not just is it good on first listen, but is it going to maintain people's attention and their love for the song over the full, in this case, 3 minutes and 46 seconds, which is not long. It's a long-ish kind of, R&B hip hop record, right? So it's long-ish. It's not crazy long, but it's long-ish. And so I think over that course with a slower BPM with, halftime drums, like it's just going to take a little bit more out of the vocal performance to make sure people stay along for that ride. So you actually get your replay value and stuff like that. Store, welcome in. New here. Do you do song reaction? So we have 2 lanes in here. One we're about to jump into right after this song here. We have an up to 2 minute play with a quick note at the end of it. If you just want a quick spin and then we just give you a note and then we move on. Up to 2 minutes to listen on the song, or if you want like what we're doing now where we're breaking it down, we're 20 to 30 minutes on the track. We listen multiple times, we dive into the details, whatever would be as valuable as possible for you. That's in the paid side, and of course you can do that as well, but everything's at the link in my bio.
Got money on my mind to reflect my world.
All right, let me get to the kind of the last. I think this, what I'm talking about, it affects every hook and every verse. So I'm going to skip into the last section here. But that to me is kind of the main thing I'd focus on.
Grind so hard it's flowing. I'm losing all this focus. Girl, I'm thinking about it. Thinking. Girl, I'm thinking about it. Thinking, drinking bands on me.
Miami, thank you for the follow.
Got me thinking I'ma throw it. Grind so hard it's flowing. Got me losing all this focus on you.
Rise above, got you. Simple fade out too. Like I think most of the rest of the production structure is really, really well done. It's simple. It's super, super clean. You also some of, and again, I've heard this song before, so there's certain things we don't have to touch because we've already gone through it a couple different times here. But y'all, please show some love. That's Stan Adu right here in the chat. The song is called Focus, man. Like I said, structurally, I think it's fantastic. This is really going to come down to layering and dynamic range and like the relationship between the two and how that affects how long into the song people are still interested into it. Are still interested in it, and that's why I want to make sure that happens, because I don't want to have like a great song and then people miss out on what you're doing, what you're saying, the vibe of your vibe and the energy of your record just because certain elements of the production weren't there. But y'all, please show some love, man. Please show some love. That's the family right there. Stan Adu, we love and appreciate you so much. We're gonna dip into the free really quick. Nitro Burnin'. Let me know if you're in the building. Let me know if you're in the burnin' or in the building, not the burnin'. Let me know if you're in the burnin'. Let me know if you're in the burnin'. It's made by yourself because mine. Yeah. It's made for you or music that you worked on. Music that you worked on. So if you're a session musician, you're an engineer, you're a producer, you're a songwriter, whatever it may be, and you have a relation to the song, then of course we can break that down, and we do. That happens often as well. But for the most part, it's people that have control over the music. That's Patrick in the building. Let's get into it, man. This is Crashing Waves. We got a 2-minute listen here. We'll give some notes at the end. Any details you want me to know, drop it in the chat. Of course, there's no notes here, so talk to me about the role that you play in your music. We'll be quick, but let's run it. Let's run it. Yeah, you're on there, extra tone. Yeah, you're ready to go. Heavy swing, heavy swing. Nice. Gotta do my puzzle. No, just one. All right, y'all show some love. Show some love, show some love. That is Patrick D. King right here in the chat, Crashing Waves. Okay, so a couple quick notes on here. For one, like most, I think the sound design yourself is good within a moment, but definitely if you want people to, again, kind of like we were talking about with the last song, you want them to stay, you want them to be along for the ride. You want them to stay for the long term. In this one, we are mourning a character that died and the remaining characters are seeing they love. Yeah, if you want people to stay along for that ride, we need changes in sound design in here, even if you want the same vibe. So I'm not saying we need to like open it up to like acoustic drums or anything dramatic. I'm saying we need things to chop and change and be introduced and removed in a way that keeps the listener engaged over the long form. There's a million tracks plus. It's probably quite a bit more than that now, especially with like newer technology that's released on just Spotify alone every week. There's so much volume of music, and so if we were to hear just this like early introduction of these first couple loops, kind of like right here in the middle, or this and then the first 2 minutes right here, most people would probably just tune out. And it's not because it doesn't necessarily sound good. There's some pockets that I think timing is a little ungrounded. So I love me some swing. Love me some swing. So there's some nice classic, forward in the pocket swing that's happening in there. And then every once in a while, it just sounds mistimed where it gets too far off that grid. It sounds mistimed on the transition back into the progression. I would love to like clean that up a little bit, polish that up a little bit. And then also just introduce some sound design changes that open it up a little bit more, a new high lead melody. And I wouldn't wait. I did 2 minutes out of a 4-minute song. I would wait 30 seconds to do that, 40 seconds, and then do it again at a minute, do it again at a minute 20. Do every 20 seconds, what I call stair-stepping dynamics, right? Every 20, 30 seconds, we're like adding and taking away something. So the energy is shifting in the song and it feels like it's a little bit more alive. It's more interesting. I promise you will get more people engaged with your music just because of like the actual psychology behind you having more memorable moments and your brain not tuning out with too much repetition of the same sound design. But the overall like vibe and aesthetic of it, I really, like I said, I love the swing, the whole overall vibe of it, I really appreciate too. You also some love to Crashing Waves. Let's get straight back into the rest of the music. The line you can check at any point. It's changing all the time. So even over the course of one time, like literally while I was listening to that 2 minutes, I got another one that changed the order. It's happening all the time over the course of the live. So if you want to check the line, it's at the link in my bio. You'll see a tab when you go to the submission form that says see the queue. You can just have that up on the tab or head over there every once in a while and you can see exactly where you are and decide if you want to change the order or put yourself wherever you want to be in there as well. Of course, man, y'all show some love to Patrick, man. Show some love to Patrick. From halftime, I just sent you over a new song we got in the works. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome. Is it Rith? Is it Rith? Am I saying that correctly? Or Rith? I want to make sure that I get it correct. We got Extra Tone in the building. Extra Tone, hop in the chat. In fact, actually, I see you right there saying epic, so I know you're in here. Gonna release this July 1st. I've recorded sax. How much better do you like aux chord? It's just easier for me. it's just easier for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know, for me, it's a path of least resistance. It's easier for y'all to submit, easier for y'all to see the line. I don't have to send you over to another platform to watch it. You know, it just makes it a little bit more streamlined for me. So that's why I use it. You know, it has its downsides, you know, potentially too, but I'm, you know, for me, it's just ease. Like before I was having to like have my, my website up with its credit form. I had to have the receiving website for the submissions of the songs. There's always an issue with people sending the wrong song, the wrong email, not copying it over correctly. And then I had to have like notifications of the credit for consultations sent on my phone. Like I was just doing too much, you know, doing way too much different stuff. So, you know, it's, you know, you know, it's not like my favorite thing in the world, but it you know, it does help calm my brain a little bit. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Let's go extra. This is Burb. Let me see. I recorded sax and piano and bass MIDI on this track and horn MIDI. Any tips on balancing levels? Let's get into it. Let's get into it. And then again, quick reminder, if you want to submit your music, rather for like the free line like we just did with Patrick, where we listened to up to 2 minutes and a quick note at the end, or you want the full 20 to 30 minute deep dive breakdown, all of that's at the link in my bio. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let me get it downloaded. This is Burb by Extra Tone. Let's dive in. Hold on. It's downloading. We'll listen to another couple songs and then we'll dip back into the free line. So if you're in the free line, make sure that you're here because you never know who isn't here and where we might go down in that list. So if you have submitted for the free line, definitely make sure that you're around, or of course, especially if you're submitting in the consultation live. Miles, good to see you. Cisco, appreciate you tapping in as well. All right, let's get it. You said releasing July 1st. That's next week, so I'm assuming it's already in distribution, right? Gina, welcome in. Nice. Okay, cool. Miles, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it. What's up, Attack? Welcome in. Yeah, exactly. Back to back. Let's go extra. Lots of twists and turns. Let's go. Y'all show some love. That is Burb, B-E-R-B. by the family, by the family, by the family. Y'all, please show some love. Show some love. Hold on. Let me update this. Let me update this over here real quick. One second, so I make sure that everything is lined up on this end. But y'all, show some love. That's Extra Tone right here in the chat. Extra Tone. Hop in the chat. Hop in the chat. Hop in the chat. Let's get into it, man. Let's run it from the top. I think your main, kind of question you had was just like balancing and stuff like that. One of the main things, I mean, it's a very vibrant. Now, the fact you're doing all of this on MIDI, you're doing all of this on MIDI, it's pretty impressive. There's some good bends in the saxophone. There's some good dynamic range for a lot of the instrumentation. You're doing a lot of things really well, especially within the limitations of running all of this and automating all of this with MIDI. That's not an easy thing to do, especially in this genre. Having like fusion jazz and stuff like that, it's probably not the most popular genre that is executed in MIDI in the way that you are. So big flowers to you, man. You're doing a lot of great stuff. Let's see, it's MCK. If y'all want to submit, everything's at the link in my bio. You can do the full submission side if you would like to, or if you want to get in the free line, you definitely can. But the full breakdown, full 20 to 30 minute multiple listen breakdown is on the consultation side. But let's get it, man. Let's run it from the top. That is Extra Tone in the chat. The song is called Burb. It is coming out next week. Next week. No. Am I listening for? Hold on. I'm getting for whatever reason on my end, all of these details are like backwards. Hold on. Hold on. Let me double check this here real quick. All my details are backwards on here. No. Okay, wait, that it is. Is it Mapes? Thank you so much for submitting. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Oh yeah, no, this is next week. So any tips? Okay, well I think maybe that's why I was a little bit confused, because you said it's already in distribution, it's already out there, but you want tips on leveling and like balancing and stuff like that. I guess just for a future record, right? It's already in distribution, it's already going to come out next week, but just for the future is kind of what you're asking. Okay, let's run it back from the top here. Let me go back to my other list, and we'll get into it. I just want to make sure that I get it. I get it all. Yeah, for the future. Okay, got it. I just want to make sure. Wait, hold on. We're talking about balancing, but it's not out yet. For the future, beautiful. Haven't been here forever. Attack the Sound in the building. What's up, Attack the Sound? Welcome into the stream. I hope you're doing amazing. Kai, appreciate you tapping in as well. Thank y'all for joining. Andre, good to see you in the chat. I appreciate y'all being here once again. If you want to submit, everything's at the link in my bio, whether or not you want the full consultation like we do here, or if you want to get into the free line, which we'll dip into here in just another moment as well. But let's get into it. This is Burr by Extra Tone. Let's run it from the top. Like, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job introducing these instruments, especially with the fact that they're MIDI. Like, that's awesome, man. Really, really good job. Okay, here's one of the few things that I'm listening for. Like I said, I know this is coming out here in the near future as well. I mixed my sax with the mini horns. Yeah, man, you did a great job. Fantastic job. The drums on this one for me are a little bit over crispy, whether that's happening because of a combination of like compression and saturation, whatever it may be, right? A couple of different things that are happening at the same time that are making them really, really snappy. And there's a real crisp, almost brittleness at the very, very top end of that mix, maybe even just brightened through EQ, Pultec style, 10, 12K, pushed up a couple dB, giving it this, this real and saturation on the drums. In this case, wanting a really natural, organic sound and like programmed instrumentation and stuff like that, you'd be better off with a little bit less compression control, because you're already, if you think about it, the samples that you're using, the like VSTs that you're using, a lot of them are already kind of pre-mixed. Now you are controlling some of your dynamics through your velocity, with, obviously like how hard you play and how you program them and stuff like that. But the samples themselves have already been like mic'd in studio and like processed and stuff like that. So you already have, especially if your velocity is fairly consistent, in this case, like on drums, where you're like your kick and snare is like velocity at 100 every time or close to that every time. It's going to sound really, really rigid. It's going to sound more artificial and more digital the more that you start to kind of crunch it up and compress it and stuff like that, because it's already really smooth. I would lessen maybe more velocity variation on the percussion and less compression to let it breathe a little bit. Whether that compression is happening within the VST or you're adding another one on there, I would love to hear those breathe a little bit. And then even, also even maybe not push the high end so far. If you are opening up the top end of those drums, like 9K, 10K, 12K, you're pushing those up a little bit. You just don't need that brightness. You're not competing with vocals or other, big, large form synths. We've got the horns and the brass and all that stuff that's carrying a lot of that energy. So we don't really need super snappy, really bright drums in there. You can soften that a little bit. So the main thing I want you to focus on, honestly, is the percussion structure. That's where, to me, we could move into a little bit of a space, and I hear the more digital, artificial nature of it, and I would love to re-soften that. Let's go, Andre. Appreciate you for tapping in. Thanks for joining in. Romeo, welcome in. Some great lines in the piano, though. Absolutely, yeah, all genres. It's called Burb, B-E-R-B. I don't know if that stands for something or it's just the name. I like it. Okay, so same thing here. And again, I think most of what I'm concerned with is not even necessarily your levels. I think are okay. Extra tone. It's wild how many songs Torvik does that. It's true. I mean, literally, we're going to go for, we'll go from like a heavy dubstep track to a progressive metal record to some jazz fusion to a pop song to a UK drill beat to lo-fi to an opera record. Like, it's all over. I love it. It's one of my favorites. This live keeps me on my toes musically, which I think is killer. It's super fun. Okay, yeah, extra tone. You're crushing it. So for me, it's not even necessarily leveling that I'm hearing here. It's more velocity, and this is where I would spend 25% more time automating and controlling your velocity than I would just the balancing of it. The balancing is like fine. It sounds punchy, it sounds snappy. I'm not like too concerned with that. But I would spend a good amount of time really fine tuning as much as you possibly can. And even like referencing back and forth, like listening to like a fusion band or listening to a jazz band on Spotify or whatever, and going back and forth and being like, oh yeah, there's these dramatic different hits that they do. Because some of these little pockets right here, let me see, like right before you with the saxophone. Some of those little da 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 da, they just feel because they're fairly quantized, they're fairly rigid in their velocity. That's where it starts. It's like I start to hear the VST a little bit more. Same with the drums and the processing stuff like that. Even though this all does sound really good, that's where you start to hear a little bit of that. So that's where I would dun 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 dun, like little changes, because you have to keep in mind too. It's like breath. Right? Like if someone is playing the saxophone, if there's later lines, I'm going to back it up here a little bit. So you hear how that last line in there has the same tension as every other line right there? But this is, if someone is playing that on a saxophone, like if someone is actually doing that on like an alto sax or a soprano sax or whatever, there's a lot of breath control that comes in doing those longer tail lines and riffs right there, that if the velocity's too even if it's moving a little bit, if the velocity's too rigid and it's right there, then we're going to lose a little bit of like that natural flow that you would get from someone who is utilizing their breath to, play a brass instrument, a wind instrument, you know what I mean? So I would have more variation. And again, this is where like really listening to the genre and executing what you're hearing comes into play of like, you kind of almost have to like learn the instrument and kind of like how it functions real in order to be able to I know you do some of this too, but like, to be able to execute it in MIDI and execute it with the VST. So having more variation of like, where might someone start to lose their breath here? Where might someone start to kind of, have to really push themselves to kind of get into this next section right here? That to me is where we can have a little bit of work here. It's less about the level and less about velocity. And again, the velocity dictates what sample is hit from the VST, because they sample usually multiple stages. Some plugins there's like 3 or 4 stages of sampling where it's like quiet, middle, and loud, or they might have 100, different samples that they're using per note for the instrument, right? And so it kind of depends on how it's structured for you, but that's what I would focus on, right? Because where you hit that velocity is actually going to change how the instrument responds in MIDI as well. Forevermore by me is where in the cue, Benign, you got to go check the cue yourself. That's why it's there. That's why it's there. The cue is at the same link. Just go check it at any point. Go check it at any point. I've got 20, 33, I've already done 33 songs in the queue. Where you at is always updated. It's always exactly where you see it on there. So the same place that you submit your music, you can see where it says see the queue, check your song there. You'll know exactly where you're at there. Forks, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get into the outro here, because I think those are the two main things: percussion structure as well as velocity changes and so on and so on. Thank you for the follow, mates. Appreciate it. It says 15 for an hour. Although there's a lot of people coming in. There's a lot of people paying for the consultations. So we're going through people paying for the consultations. Then I'll dip back in after the song. After this one, we're going to go back to the free line and pull one from there to give it a push forward. Corrupt, appreciate the follow. Thanks for tapping in. But yeah, it just depends. It's up to you how long it takes. You can always wait it out. You can always push yourself forward. But where you are in the line is always updated every single time that I go through the next song. It's always top to bottom, top to bottom. Yeah, a little bit of like those little accents from going through those arpeggios and going through the scaling right there by changing velocity and by default changing the sampling form of the VST, to me is going to be a huge factor in how real and interesting that actually feels, right? Because a lot of what you're just encountering is the rigidity of very consistent velocity ranges. And again, when you're dealing with real instrument VSTs and stuff like that, that to me is where you're running into some of your percussion and some of your sax and brass VSTs feeling a little bit more rigid. Joel's in the building. What's up, Joel? Good to see you, man. Since when do we multi? Last couple years, man. Last couple years we've been multi. Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. Okay, let me get into this last 20 seconds here. But that to me, and again, keep in mind that for me, the most important part of this is the way that VSTs respond to your velocity, right? And when you're doing with real instrument VSTs, acoustic instrument VSTs, brass, wind, drums and stuff like that, the sample changes depending on velocity, depending on how many sample points there are, right? And so that to me is where I want you to really focus, because that's going to change the ghost notes on the drums. That's going to change the actual expression of the sax when you push the velocity versus back up on it. I would focus more on how you facilitate that, because that is the source. That's you playing the saxophone. You know what I mean? That's kind of the source of your sound. Focus more on that. The balancing, to me, I don't think you're gonna have too much of an issue with. It's fine. You'll work it out. I'm not really too worried about it. But the way that instrument is expressed, to me, matters more, because that's what's going to dictate how you mix it and how you position it and stuff like that. Man, show some love. Show some love. Show some love. Is it Bren Syke? Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. I see you over on the Red Up. Thank you so much for tapping in. Nice to I had no clue. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while, man. Been doing it for a while. And, I've gone through phases. There's been some times where it gets, it got really frustrating, either using Restream or using whatever different ways that we're kicking off, and OBS has its issues. It was also super frustrating because I'm on a MacBook, trying to multi-stream then to TikTok as well. But thankfully, in the last couple months they released the TikTok Live Studio for Mac, so that helps. That helps a lot, but it was kind of a nightmare for a while, where I was trying to figure out using some other factor. I had a separate computer just for TikTok. I was running a Dell just for TikTok and sending stuff from my interface over to that computer, or using an iRig or some bullshit. And then finally, TikTok got their shit together and finally said that they could do a TikTok Live Studio on Mac. But yeah, it was a nightmare there for a while. It was crazy. Derek Bennett in the building. What's up, Derek? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I got a lot of song projects that I want to get done. I got my hands full. Let's go, Mile. I mean, that's a good problem to have. That's a good problem to have. Brent, nice sense you got there. I hope to have one of my own as well soon. Brent, I got 3 more on the way. I think I have 14 cents. How many cents? I have a bunch, 13 or 14 cents in here. I have 2 or 3 more on the way. I have another rack coming in for this sidewall over here, so I can put some more on there. And then a couple more coming. I can't wait. I can't wait. Scents are my favorite thing in the world. I love it so much. I love it so much. Got my first mix back for my hymn remake album. Let's go, Derek. I mean, you've been chipping away at it, man. You've been chipping away at it. But y'all, please show some love, man. Show some love, show some love. That's the family. Extra Tone, I appreciate you so much. You're a beast. You're talented. You're talented, man. I mean, especially you're doing so much of this with like VSTs and stuff like that, and you still have a great feel to your music. So this is just everything that I say here is just to like tighten it up, and make sure that you're going from where you're at in the range that you're at right now and pushing it even further. So yeah, man, you're absolutely killing it, man. Seriously. Show some love. 20, Derek. Currently speaking. I'll refresh really quick, but currently speaking, 20. Chris is in the building. I've got a new track coming out in 2 weeks, but I submitted one I released earlier this year because I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Yeah, sounds good, man. Sounds good. I mean, I usually prefer is loose, but, I prefer that people send in unreleased stuff just because it gives you more of a chance to like fix some things before you start self-mixing or before you send it to an engineer, before you like working on songwriting and song structure, before you go record at the studio and book time, before you send it to a mastering engineer, like whatever stuff like that. Like I always prefer, and people send release stuff. We've heard release stuff today. I'm not like, I don't necessarily care. It's always nice to also hear like what a finished record sounds like to you. Cause then from there we can kind of see like, okay, this is what finished sounds like to you. How do we kind of edit down from here? At the same time, it also just kind of depends on what we're doing. Sounds good, Derek. Let me see. What do you tell me about it? I've been experimenting with being able to use TikTok Studio and bringing people up while also using Nero's video call feature. Yeah, I've been curious. Like I use Aux right now, and I haven't had there was a lot of issues early on with fixing some things. There's some issues but thankfully I worked it out with them, and they got it kind of worked out. But I'm always curious about Nero. The only thing is they took another 5%, and I just already don't like people taking money. And so I was kind of curious about the video call thing too, but I don't know how it would work with TikTok Studio. I thought about doing that, of like bringing people on like to interview with their song, or talk about their song, talk about their album. It can also be kind of slippery sometimes, but I wasn't sure how that would work with TikTok and OBS and stuff like that. Got you, Derek. Got you. Maddox said, hey, my song number 33 in line, you got to play it now. I mean, if it's 33rd in line, it's going to take more than a special number to play it now. That's a great number. That's a great, angel number, right? Or whatever they call it. That's a great number. 33 sounds like a great number. I'll be 33 next year. But yeah, it would. It took more than a special number for you to push past 32 other people. Okay, let's get into it. We got Derek Bennett in the building. Let's get back into it. I've almost solved it. Hit me, might have to try for me. Might have you try for me too. Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%, man. I'd be curious because it would be cool to have like tiers. I mean, we're talking more business here now, so I apologize. But obviously you have like I do like free up to 2 minutes. Free line up to 2 minutes, and then quick note on your song, we move on, just kind of let you know what's going on. And then we have like the full 30-minute consultation that I typically do, which is we go back through the song 2 or 3 different times. We go super in depth and whatever. And then it would be cool to have like another one where like starting at this point, not only do we do all of that, but we can bring you on, we'll interview it, we'll record it, we'll send you the recording of it, or whatever, and kind of add another layer that could be even more valuable. Give people some content out of it too, because I know people struggle with creating content from their music and stuff like that. So it could be a cool way to like clip for people and even like send them clips of stuff. Could be interesting. Looking forward to hearing this. Damn you, Derek. Okay, let's get into it. We got Derek Bennett, and this is What a Friend Mix 1. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Derek. This is the first mix I've heard, not producer mix, but like engineered mix from this hymn remake album. New vocals, new vocal thighs. Let's go. New vocal though. Maddox, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Mix one. All right, we got a fresh mix. From Derek Bennett. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Same producer and engineer you were working with for a while with some of the Testament stuff. Mask. What place am I in right now? Everything's at the link in my bio. If you want to check the line, everything's there. I got you, Duo. I got you, man. 100%. New engineer. This is a big cat in Nashville. Hell yeah, brother. Let's go. All right, let's get it. If you want to check the line you want to submit, either for the free line for the consultations, or if you want to check the queue, everything's at the link in my bio. All right, let's run it. Let's run it. Let's keep it rolling. It's time for Derek Bennett. Cool. Sounds good, Derek.
Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer.
Thick drums.
Have we trials and temptations?
Yeah.
Is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord.
Chris, that's how it is. That's how it is.
Let's take it to the Lord.
Nice. Great voice.
Can we find a friend so faithful who will all our sorrows share? Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Take it to the Lord. Take it to the Lord. What a friend we have in Jesus, Lord. All my sin. What a privilege to carry everything to God in
Nice. What's up, Danielle? I hope you're doing amazing. Welcome in.
What a friend we have in
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all show some love to the family. Derek Bennett Music. Derek Bennett Music. Thank you so much for sending this in, man. This is the first mix that I've heard from this project, this record. Danielle, so good to see you, Danielle. It's so good to see that name pop up in the chat. I hope you're doing fantastic. Hope life is treating you all right. It's good to see that name in here. But y'all, please show some love, man. Show some love. That is Derek Bennett Music. Right here in the chat. Okay, let's run it from the top. Dishing out the money. Yeah, dishing out the money on this project. Yeah, you start, paying for, Nashville engineers and studio musicians. I know you're working with choirs and session musicians and stuff like that. That will take you down a road. Here's the thing: is you might get addicted to work. This happens with almost everyone that I've ever worked with. It starts working with like the next tier, if you will. I say that loosely, but you start working with kind of the next tier, and then you can't go back. And like there's a country artist out of Nashville that I worked on. I did some consultation and some collaborative stuff, some session work for them a couple months ago. 2 or 3 months ago. So I was doing some keys tracking, some guitar session work with them. Anyways, they started paying for session work, and they're like, oh, like, you mean I can get, and before that they were doing like country, they were just like they were like buying country beats off BeatStars or something like that. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to start spending like $1,000 a record. I'm going to get a great engineer, for them, a great engineer is, $500-600. And then they're like, and I want to build a good production. I want some session musicians, whatever. And they got into this world where they're like, well, now I get complete control. They're like, wait, I can have whatever guitar on here I want. I can change things. I can edit things. And, luckily, I know how to produce, or it'd be 100%. But then you get addicted because you're like, well, how do I go back to like either either my own limitations of like, oh, I'm running into something I want to happen in here, but I can't make it happen or whatever, or just running into like wanting the creative control of having someone build out something that, that you can, that just absolutely, just sounds absolutely nuts. Great vocals. But yeah, it's a different world. You start working with like a couple good producers, you start working with, a great engineer, you start working with like a great session musician. And then next thing you know, like, well, how can I ever go back? Unless you just, try to learn it all yourself. Let me see. Likewise, hope you're doing well. And I'm so proud of you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. It means more than you know. It means more than you know. I appreciate that so much. Let me see. Yeah, great vocals. Okay, let's get back into it. Let's get back into it, man. Let's run it from the top. Didn't know we were going to be worshiping up in this place, Chris over on YouTube. Didn't know we were going to be worshiping up in this place. Stream just showed up on my feed. Great algorithm suggestion. Let's go, Chris. Thanks for tapping it. I appreciate you being here. You never know. Here's the glorious thing about this stream is I don't know what song's next. I don't necessarily know what's happening in the next track unless I like know every artist that's submitting that day or doing consultations for that day. But we very well could have like a satanic death metal song after this. It's the beauty of this live stream where who knows maybe this is like the cleansing for the songs to come. But you never know what's gonna happen in this stream where it's gonna either be it's gonna be some beautiful cinematic worship score from Derek or some raunchy song right after it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's why I love art. Mine isn't satanic, no worries. It's good. All right, let's get into it, man. This is What a Friend mix 1. This is What a Friend mix number 1. Let's get into it, man. There's a couple. Okay, here's the thing with getting a mix, man. Here's the thing. My chair is broke. I need a new chair so bad. It just keeps slowly lowering down. Here's the thing that I'm paying attention to on here. What has happened a little bit in the song is now that we have a good mix where everything's loud and wide and punchy and distinct and clear, it is also, in my personal opinion, introducing some noise at the same time. Now that every line of the song has been mixed by a great engineer, it's like we're hearing all of these things and it's starting to make certain elements of it a little bit noisy to me, a little bit busy to me, where I'm noticing where like my brain is kind of jumping around, trying to hear this piano trill in the background, trying to hear this other line over here while the vocal's kind of right in the middle of the mix. So the overall aesthetic and balance and punch, I think, is beautiful. I mean, it's a really well mixed track. The drums are punchy as hell, big beefy drums. I love it so much. The snare is amazing. There's a lot that's happening in the production structure that I'm so enjoying, and we've heard it before. But I think now what's happened is some things are now in there with better clarity that is kind of revealing some busyness in the mix that I'm curious if we maybe either those elements drop back a little bit or they're cut in certain parts in order to regain some clarity for the mix. So we can talk loosely about that, and hopefully that's easy enough to revise. Or just something to kind of keep in mind, but we'll go through it either way. This is killer.
Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because.
Okay, so here, one quick note for me, and this can either be obviously corrected potentially on the production side and or mixing side, depending on the source of the ambiance, the source of the reverb and stuff like that. We have this in the background, like this big kind of like choir string layer in the background. I think it sounds like it has a bunch of reverb on it, and it's filling in this middle a whole lot. That again, now that has cleared, yeah, exactly. I think the same thing. Now that we have that with clarity, and we hear everything in the mix, that's busy. I want to hear the I want to hear those like spiccatos in there a little bit more. I want to get better clarity for the vocal, and since that's it's so gluey, it's so it's sticking everything together right there that I lose some of the pop of these other elements that are happening right there in the background. So again, like you just said, I wanted that down a little bit. Bring that down 3 or 4. I think it can be way back. Like, I think it can be in the background a fair amount, and just be a little bit of glue that kind of holds everything together in between the spiccatos, in between some of the little lines on the right side. Yeah, a choir pad. It might be a choir pad. It might be something connected in a VST. Bring it back. I think maybe even 3 dB, 3 or 4 dB. So we get a little bit more of this staccato kind of pops in the mix, and less of this kind of gluing everything together right there. I think that will help clarify certain elements. That might also happen multiple times in the song. So if that does happen multiple times in the song, you can kind of address that elsewhere as well.
As we do not carry everything to God in prayer.
This is cool.
Have we trials and temptations? Is there
Same thing here, where I want to hear the doo, boom. You know what I mean? Like snappy drums, heavy like sub bass comes in and then it breaks, right? So we have these cool dynamic breaks, pops from the synths back and forth, these really heavy bass lines that come in, or just, you know, sub bass that comes in, and then it breaks with the drums with a snappy snare. I love it. That energy is great, but then we lose kind of the snap part of it. We lose the dynamic pop of it because there's still happening in the background. And I think a couple different layers. I think I hear a choir. I might also hear some strings in the background. I think if we can clarify that a little bit, I do think that will help give this whole mix some more pop. We'll feel those dynamic pushes more. We'll feel the percussion movements more. That's kind of what I'm listening for here. Everything that's there, I like though. Like I like, as we've talked about this production several times, I like what is there. I like what exists there. I like the whole structure of it. Production, I think sounds really, really cool.
and temptations? Is there trouble?
What's up, Nicole? Welcome in.
Anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Let's take it to the Lord. Oh,
That snare's juicy. I love it. Christopher, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
yeah,
Thank you for the harmony. I appreciate you.
yeah. Can we
Like even there, boom, boom, ba-da-ka, right? With this big break from the drums and you still hear it in the background. The reverb from the pad even tails on, limiting your dynamic push right there, right? Like even when it cuts, we still have tails from those pads that are limiting the energy that stops. Either that could be like faded sooner, it could be cut sooner and faded, and or just, cut a little bit earlier, less reverb, brought down in the mix, 2 or 3 dB or so.
Can we find our friends over?
And then here, this is where, so here it depends on what's happening. It depends on if it's a reverb carrying it that you or him or whoever has on there. It depends on if it's a reverb that's carrying it or if it's the pad that is there for another bar. You'll have to maybe look at that in your production and see if that's the case. I would cut early here. So when the snare hits, you'll hear on the right side, it's opposite on the screen, but on the right side, this in the background here. And the is there all the way through until the drum sit starting the second verse right here. I guess maybe even third verse. So that you still hear it in there. If it's the actual synth that's right there, I would cut. I would cut early as soon as the snare hits, boom, boom, ba-da-ka, boom, and then everything comes in on that ba-da-ka right there. On the production side, cut that early and then just like fade it so it's really smooth so that the whole background of the production dies with the snare and the reverb. So you get this huge change in energy, and then the next verse right there starts right after that. Okay, on this next part right here, personal preference. You don't have to do this. It's just my personal preference. This is where it starts to get a little bit noisy for me. I think the pad is one part of it earlier on. Here it's actually the piano. Let me see. B minor.
Can we find our friends so faithful?
Okay, so you have the right minute. All right, we have the little high kind of trill arpeggio at the top right here.
So faithful, who will always
That little thing right there. That little pocket right here. I like that it's there. I like that it exists, and I like what it's doing. I do think it could be nice to wait to introduce that till halfway through the verse and start here by having this huge dynamic with the drums, break it all the way down just to, because again, now it has clarity. I think last time we were like, oh yeah, there is a piano back there, but now it's really forward. Now that it's that clear, it's adding a bit more noise. It'd be cool to break it down to just like bass, low synths, in the vocal right here. Leave the piano out for a moment. Again, this is just my taste, and then halfway through the verse, we bring it in, right? So here, no piano here.
our friends so faithful, who will always
That's up to you. I mean, it's up to you. It might be easier for them to not have to mix in a new track. It might, again, that would just be a conversation I would have with them. Every engineer is different. For me, I'd probably just cut it. I'd probably, if I were engineering, I'd probably just talk to you and say like, if I were listening to the revisions as I'm mixing it, I'd probably be like, hey, this piano's a little bit noisy to me. Are you okay if we cut it on the first half of the verse? And you're like, yeah, we are. And then I just cut it. Or I would be like, hey, maybe you should resend me one and I'll mix it in. That's up to the engineer, right? So the easier thing is probably to just cut it in that section and start on the B section, first half of the hook. I'm sorry, first half of the verse here. That's probably the easiest. It's probably the easiest to just have them cut it. But yeah, just have that conversation with them and see what they would like. Just ask them the actual question of like, I want this piano to be cut on the first half of the verse. Do you want to go ahead and just cut it on the mixing side, or would you like me to resend a piano file with it already cut? And then, you know, y'all can talk that out too. Silex, good to see you. Okay, so open here.
Jesus knows our every.
Okay, so first half here, I would have no piano personally. No piano. Break it down. Maybe here.
Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord.
Yeah, just that. So A section, first 4 measures, no piano. Bass comes in, piano comes in, the whole mix expands. That's gonna give you a lot more dynamic range right there. It's gonna pop it open. It's gonna pop it open like crazy. Okay. Killer. It's so cool. It's so cool. Y'all show some love to the family. I think you're a revision away. The overall balance, clarity of the lead vocal, great vocal performance, clarity of, you know, percussion, heavy without mud on the low sub bass and stuff like that. Like there's a lot that you're doing really, really beautifully in the structure of the song. I think now it's quite literally just clarifying production structure to make sure now all of these things that are now forward and have great clarity are not now like interrupting the song a little bit. Beyond that, man, yeah, in a good spot overall, 100%. 100%. Sounds awesome. I mean, it sounds punchy. And this is a great, I mean, your last one was great too. But this is now, you know, this is now a really, really solid record. Okay, really quick, Chris, we're going to dip into the free for the 2-minute play. It'll literally take 2 minutes. We're going to dip into the free for the 2 minute, and then we're gonna go back into it. So you're following something different. Who knows if that's better or worse for you? But we're gonna drop down here for a second, just for the quick 2 minute, and then we'll jump straight back into it. So really quick is BTBH in the building. Is BTBH in the building? Let me know if you're in here. If not, Canadia, let me know if you're in the building. Canadia, let me know, or Canadia. Depends on what it is. 100%, Chris. Absolutely. Let me know. Masked Bandit. Let me know if you're in the chat. We're moving through them. This is why it helps stick around. A lot of people missing their chance. Right now. Masked Bandit. Raph, thank you for the follow. Carisha, let me know if you're in the chat. We're moving through them. Carissa's in the chat. Let's go. All right, you made it. You made it. You made it. You made it. Thanks. That's what patience gets you. That's what patience gets you. All right, we got Carissa in the building. This is All Is Blurred. Once again, this is an up to 2 minute listen. So we're gonna listen for up to 2 minutes. Give some quick notes at the end, and then we'll jump back into the consultations. Carissa, thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate it. You just jumped like 6 people in line, so that's fantastic. You just saved yourself a couple hours. Chris, you got to follow Carissa now. This is All Is Blurred. Thank you for listening. I'm a music artist and producer from Poland. Let's get into any other details. Of course, drop it in the chat. This is on Spotify, so give me a second to pull it up. Everything's at the link in my bio. I will be probably closing the free line here in a second, and then we'll do consultations only for the rest. But let's get into the song real quick. And just remind me, you produced all this? Rap. What's up, Rap? Nice, nice. This is cool. Are you mixing yourself too? Really cool synth work. It's cool. Great job though. Yep. Y'all show some love. Show some love. That is Carissa right here in the chat. Really, 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 really well done. I mean, awesome voice. Really cool structure. The mix is really nice as well. Like, seriously, I mean, the whole structure, all of the production. I mean, as someone who absolutely loves synthesis and synth structured music, you're doing an absolutely fantastic job. It's really, really cool. There's a really cool push and pull of energy in the background, as well as signals modulate, automation of like volume and attack on your filters. Like, there's a lot of what I really love about like your early mix on the production here and just what you've put into the production is it breathes a little bit, almost quite literally. It feels like it breathes, where there's nothing that feels like too static and on the nose or sterile. The whole mix and the modulation and the filters opening and all of that nice like pulse width modulation that you have in there, it all ebbs and flows in a really, really interesting way that really, really gets your attention, especially on the production side. Quick note on the thing. I kind of wish your vocals were a little bit louder. There's some times where you have kind of an intentional kind of in the box, like removed vocal, kind of with the reverb. It separates you just a little bit as well. Kind of puts you in the in the far back of the mix right there. I wish your voice was a little bit louder, like another 2 or 3 dB forward, so we got just as much energy and punch out of that vocal, because you have an amazing voice. You have good writing, a good structure. I would love to hear it a little bit louder. But overall, the production I think is fantastic. You're doing an amazing job. Keep doing what you're doing. Y'all show some love to Carissa. That is called All Is Blurred. All Is Blurred. It is out on all platforms. So if you like what you hear, definitely go stream it, go like it, go add it to your playlist, go follow on DSPs, follow here on social media, show them some love and support. Absolutely, absolutely love what you do. T, what mic are you using? This mic right here is a Neumann M147 tube. Oh yeah, I don't know if they might have been asking you. If you were asking me, it's a Neumann M147 tube. And I love it. I love it. I've had this mic for years at this point. I have a couple other mics that I use interchangeably if I need, different tones and different things out of the microphone. But this is my go-to tube mic for most things, and I think it's fantastic. It's kind of I feel like it's an underrated microphone. A lot of people don't talk about it. It's really even. It's really warm to listen to, which I love. Takes processing beautifully. So if I need to smash it with compression or anything, if I ever am in a space where I need to do that, or I'm miking a room for the drums or something like that, and I need to put this on there, it handles processing, I feel like, in a really beautiful way. But y'all, show some love. Carissa, you're awesome. I'm excited for your future. Yeah, if y'all would want to submit, a free line is closed, so the 2-minute submissions are closed right now for new people submitting. We might still get to some of them if people are still here, but they're close to new submissions. If you want to submit, we're doing consultations only, 20 to 30 minute multiple listen deep dives into the structure of your music, really diving into what you're doing creatively and practically, diving into the mix, production, sound design, lyric and song formatting, stuff like that. If you want to submit, everything's at the link in my bio. That's where the queue is as well. If you would like to see the line, we got Rise Above in the building. Rise Above, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Oh, we got an offer. On Reverb. Let's see. No, I don't care about that. This is some bullshit on my cart. If it was on one of the synths I'm already about to order, then it would have been nice to get 5% off one of the synths I'm about to order. But it's just some random track or some random thing. Okay, time to open up the pit. What's up, daddies? Let's go. Chris from MySpace in the building. This is Rise Above. I've heard your music before, but let's dive in, man. Let's dive in. Any details you want me to have on this record, man, let me know. Let the people know in the chat what you do as well. Let's get it.
Broken promises, endless cycle, endlessly wait on
Appreciate you. Beautiful mix.
So take your best, let's life last with no return. There's no way to start. We build it up to watch it crumble down. We've lost the meaning of who we are. Look inside yourself and stay a glimpse of your own destruction. Build the walls, wall bridges, burn, denying we are torn asunder. Perpetual war between the left and right. What will it take to erase our mistakes before our time is gone? Through the hell that we're living.
beautiful, man. So good. Man, show some love. Pop Rock, welcome in. So good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good, man. It's a slicey mix. It's punchy, vocal structure. There's a song that's reminding me of, not any way that it's like connected or correlated. I just feeling wise, there's these low palm muted harmonies that you're doing. It's a double track, but they're in harmony, like third note. So you have like a low end over on the left side. You have a third note on the right side. What's up, Pop Rock? Good to see you in here. And they're doing the harmony. I think it's Follow and Feel by Seosin. I think. I mean, it's been a long time since I've heard it, but that it's reminding me of some of the production structure in one of those like early Seosin songs. I think off the first album. Off the Beatle album. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, it's good. We're about to run it back, Pop Rock. There's not a lot that I don't know how deep you are into the process of this. There's not a lot at all that I would change. Not a lot at all that I would change about this, man. It's so energetic. Even the flaws, even some of the ringing, even some of the changes in dynamics that like when you pull some of the rhythms and go straight to the riff and stuff like that. A mix 783. I put a cap on it, man. You're done. You're ready. You're ready to go, man. That's beautiful. Line is still open, y'all. It's free line and whatever is closed. But if you want to pay for the consultation side, which is what we're doing now, where we go back through it, dig into the details of it, that is still wide open right now. We'll be on for another hour or two before we close things up. But man, let's get into it, man. Show some love to Chris from MySpace right here in the chat. That is Sworn to Follow by Rise Above. Y'all are, man, monsters. That's a good duo right there. That's a good duo right there. Y'all are absolutely crushing it. Let's run it from the top. I think you're ready. I think you're ready to put this out here. I would just get it out. Just get it out and keep moving. Once again, instrumental hook as well as vocal hook that's really distinct. You have a solid riff. I've never met him in person, you've never met him in person? Man, y'all collaborate well, though. You collaborate well 100%. Beautiful double. Yeah, double track is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. The single to the double stack. He's in Wisconsin. I'm in New York. Crazy. Double is beautiful. It's open, it's punchy, it's slicing, vocal production is on point. Dude, so good. I know it. This is a really good mix, man. It's a really good mix. It's mid forward. It's slight, it's slicey. There's some parts of it they're a little stingy, but man, you're executing well. I mean, it's a loud, punchy mix that I think cuts through beautifully. Like even some of the things that I'm like, I'm listening for it. I'm like trying to decipher certain things, and then I've just realized that it sounds the way that it sounds, and it sounds good, and I wouldn't really touch it. Like I wouldn't risk crumbling any part of the infrastructure of this mix. Like it's really well done. It's really well done, man. I would lock in whatever, master you need to and get this out there. It's a slicey mix, man. It's really, really well structured. Vocals especially, you're doing a phenomenal job, whether through like mid-side or like tasteful double tracking and moving things out, of getting phenomenal clarity out of your lead vocal at the same time of also having some other fries and screams in the background, and secondary screams in the background that are all very clear and separated and distinct in the mix. It's fantastic. It's awesome. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Did great, man. Seriously, awesome job. Right here. I gotta hear something. Just it doesn't even matter that it's a song. I gotta, for my own sanity, I have to figure out what this is. Boom, 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 boom. Let me see. No, it's not this song. Hold on. I'm not going to spend any more time on it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to figure it out. I'll have to go back through the whole album. Anyways, there's some part that was reminding me of something, and my brain just like can't let it go, and it's like gonna get frustrated until it realizes what it is. I'll do it later. I promise. I won't spend any more time on it. It sounds great. It's not even like a comparison necessarily. It just keeps reminding me of something. Everything's at the link in my bio. If you want to submit, go to the link in my bio. You can submit or skip past over there if you want to as well. Structured so well. Strong riff, distinct elements in the mix. You did a great job in the panning. The panning is probably my favorite part about this. Everything's in its spot. Everything holds its place, holds its own. Beautifully done. Acoustic gymnastics, welcome in as well. Let me skip forward a little bit in here, but yeah, put it out, man. The people are ready. The thing I've debated is how, I was actually about to skip to the solo here. Things I've debated is how the leveling in the solo when it switches to harmonized guitars. So yeah, let me get there. I think it's pretty clean. There's nothing that stands out to me. So the thing that stands out is not necessarily even just the levels. It's the split to stereo. So we're coming from center lead to a dramatic shift out of a hard left, hard right, double there with the third harmony on the right side. So that's the distinction that I hear. The isolation of that makes it feel, I think that's more it's because they don't seem too loud. I think if you go any lower, they're gonna kind of get buried a little bit. The only distinction I'm hearing is that the mix kind of shoots out here like that. That's only a bad thing if it's not what you kind of want to happen. But if it's what stylistically you want to happen, I don't think it's too loud from a leveling standpoint. I think it does what it's supposed to do in a mix. But you are going to get the isolation movement of having something tucked into the structure of the mix, like this early part here, feels very much so a part of the production. Like Like that's very much in line with the rest of the production. And then all of a sudden you just hear that isolation more. Your perceived loudness is a bit higher anytime that you hard pan out like that. So I just think it feels more distinct. It feels more separate. It feels a little bit more isolated, but not to me in a negative way. Not to me in a negative way. I don't feel like it's too loud. Let's go. I have an audioscape hopefully coming this next week. Yep. Yeah. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. And you also have, a third of the song, half the song or a third of the song has those hard panned mid-tier guitars in there doing those muted, full pan to the side, layers in there as well. So if it was like there was none of that in the mix and like nothing was panned like that during the rest of the mix, and then you randomly popped your lead guitars out to the side, then maybe you would sound like too distinct and too separated from the rest of the song structure. But for the most part, like you already have a lot of elements. Yeah, no, I think you're fine. You have already a lot of elements living there, so it feels very natural to go back to that. I don't think it's an issue at all. Yeah, show some love, dude. It's nuts. It sounds so good. Get it out there, man. Get it out there. That sounds killer. It sounds absolutely killer. Evan, thank you so much for the rose. I appreciate it. Sounds absolutely killer, man. I think you're ready to polish and get it out to the masses, man. It sounds absolutely beautiful. Such great musicianship, such great tone, such great lead vocal structure. Absolutely nuts, man. Amazing. Another exploitation of artists pay to skip. What are you talking about, Parker? What are you talking about? Let's get into it. We got Attack the Sound in the building. Attack the Sound. Let me know if you're in the building. Let me know if you're in the chat. Hopefully they're here. Give it a second. There's Attack the Sound. All right, let's get into it. This is demo of one of my favorite songs so far. Any notes as we look to mix soon? All right, let's dive in. If you want to submit, you can. Everything's at the link in my bio. We'll be closing things up here in just a little bit. But if you want to submit, definitely go up to the link in my bio. What we do here is a 20 to 30 minute multiple listen consultation on the structure of your music. So if you want to submit, we're going to go deep into the mix and master, production elements, sound design choices, lyric and song formatting, whatever would give you the most value, whatever would help you out the most. That's the thing we want to focus on and make sure that we're offering some tools in that space. And that's where the consultation side comes in. So if you want to submit there, you can. If you want to go faster, you can, but there's no pressure to do either. But let's get into it. Exploitation requires necessity. So I don't know what people just like to kind of throw things out there about exploitation. Exploitation requires necessity. If something's not necessary to you, you can't be exploited by it. It's like saying like you're exploited by Dolce and Gabbana because they have $300 shirts. We're like, well, you don't have to get a $300 shirt. Exploitation requires necessity. So if it's not a necessity to you, you can't be exploited to get it. You always wear glasses. No, these are my blue light glasses just because I stare at a bunch of different screens during the day. But anyways, it's just funny when people say that because it's obviously, to me, it immediately shows that they lack some level of like basic education on the words that they're saying. So it's not like it doesn't bother me in any emotional way because you just literally don't even know the words that you're saying. Okay. You can't exploit with something that's not necessary. This is Mexico by Attack the Sound. Let's get into it. Give me all the details, man. Give me all the details. Let's dive into it. Like they just said, demo of one of their favorite songs. So any notes, they're about to mix it soon. All right, let's get into it. These are the vibe switch ups I'm talking about. I love it, dude. I love this live so much. It's so fun. Anyways, okay. And again, y'all, this is unmastered. They're about to head towards mixing. Protect the Sound. Is this pretty different from the last stuff that I've heard from you? I'm trying to remember.
I wonder if you care if I risk it all. Take my gift as far as it would go. I hit the road, play 1,000 shows, but I'll never feel I made.
Yeah, I was gonna say this feels like a different. I mean, not in a negative way at all. Feels like a little bit of a different vibe. It's got a cool feel. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Proud of you, man. That's not an easy thing to do.
Embrace the culture shared with those within. Flowers in your hair, rhythm from
Great
the
voice.
skies. As breaths and strings cry out into the night. On the music keeps the spirits high. Every song and dance, yeah, it feels like home. And my heart will still be waiting till I get to Mexico. See you again in Mexico.
Smooth.
As I woke up from a dream that
Where are you
slipped
recording your
away,
vocals into?
I can hear the voices singing. With tequila kisses and whispers in the breeze, it takes me back to all my memories in Mexico. I'll see you again in Mexico.
Nice. I love it. I love it.
I'll see you again in Mexico. I'll see you again in Mexico. I'll see you again in Mexico.
No problem. No problem. Just curious.
I'll see you again in Mexico. 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 I'll see you
Beautiful vocal structure. So good. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. Y'all, show some love, man. Show some love. That is the family Attack the Sound right here in the building. The song is called Mexico. Let's go straight back from the top. What I would say, yeah, might fade it out sooner than that. Beautiful. I mean, the musicianship, I think, is fantastic. There's some beautiful vocal layers. Here's what I would say for the most part, as far as just like what we're hearing here. Too long for my taste, yeah. And it's a 5-minute song. It's a 5-minute song. I think we could probably do, if you want kind of like an interesting classic 80s, 90s fade out, what you could do is fade out all of your percussion like a minute before, fade out all of the percussion and just have like Rhodes, piano, and some strings and the vocals there for a moment. And then, and then fade out the vocals at the very end or something like that. And then cut like a minute off of it. Make it a 4-minute song, maybe instead of a 5-minute song, just consolidating the structure. I mean, this is not going to be a modern pop record. That's not what it's supposed to be. It's emotional. It's cinematic. It has a lot of, feeling to it, and it's not supposed to be that. So I don't want it to be robotic or sterile, but I still, it can still be helpful to cut some things down and create a little bit of a tighter structure. So let's run it from the top. The biggest thing that I want to kind of address is I think most of what you have here I really, really like. What's up, Ben Russell? Good to see you. I hope you're doing amazing. Most of what you have here I really, really like. I really don't have too many complaints as far as like what is in the production. But what I'm listening for is what is going to be sent to the mix that you want fixed before then. Just alignment of the vocals and like vocal phrasing to where those layers are really, really tight, timing of guitar in the background, maybe like little things like that. So that when you send it to an engineer or when you send it, to a studio or whatever you're going to end up doing, that what you send as the demo is as close to the vision that you have for the song as possible. So the mix is as close to the vision, just a polished version, a really, really professional, smooth and polished and loud version of what you already have here. There's a lot that I really, really like about this. One thing I'd be careful of is if you're printing anything on the vocals or sending out multi-tracks or stems or whatever it may be, that your vocal isn't sent too thin. So just be careful of high passing too high. Be careful of pulling too much mud away at 100 to 300 hertz. Be careful of over compressing. If any of that is going to be printed before sending there, then just make sure that that's really open and smooth and that we're not overdoing it pre-mix going towards the engineer. Planting peace trees, writing a reggae album, and dad life. Hope you're good. That sounds amazing, man. I'm doing well, man. I appreciate you tapping. It's so good to see you in here. And I love you living your life, man. That sounds amazing. All right, let's run it from the top. We've got a couple more songs today, and then we'll close it up here in a bit. But man, let's get into Attack the Sound Mexico. Let's dive. This is beautiful. Jake, appreciate you tapping in. Thank you for the heart, man. I appreciate it. What's up, Markeel? Welcome in. Good to see you, man. Hey, what's good? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Like here, again, as far as like where we have things that kind of pop out of the mix, you have some beautiful brass moments in the background as well. Dun, 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 dun. Those brass moments, I would definitely allow those to pop even early on. Because again, you want to send out your music to the engineer really with an understanding of this is kind of where I want some of these things to be. This is kind of my vision for it. If the brass is too far back, they might just kind of tuck it in the background. But I would love to hear, I would love to hear like those little moments, those little stacks right there forward. I would love to hear those like 4 dB, louder in the mix, so that when you do send it to the engineer, they're like, oh, that's a main element that needs to be forward in the mix, just like, one of your early, top lines as far as like what's a lead element in your song. So like little things like that, right? Which is not necessarily like me trying to correct the mix now because it's not mixed, more so, but let's fine tune your vision for the song so that the engineer knows exactly what to do and you get that first mix back and it just feels absolutely beautiful. Same thing, drums. Guitars are positioned beautifully, like acoustic and electric guitars are beautiful. So brass and drums, get those like 3 dB forward, give them a little bit more life, just so your pre-balance is a little bit better. Yeah, I love the brass. I love that. Beautiful. So here. Okay. And then, yeah, vocals really suppressed, so allow that to breathe. Again, even pre-mix, even though I know it's not the final mix, allow it to breathe a little bit more. Your layers are louder than the vocal. For one, your perceived loudness is higher just when you're panning the vocals out. So get lead vocal forward just a hair. Like for me, drums, brass, lead vocal. Make them strong so that like your non-negotiables of this mix are really obvious to the engineer before you send it out. Guitars are fine though. Great vocals. Same thing back here. Yeah, those drums can be like 6 dB forward. They can be quite a bit more forward. Strong. I think all of your guitars are fine where they are. So, you know, electric, acoustic guitars, bass, you know, for the most part, even in an early mix. Let's just get the drums forward, get the vocal, lead vocal forward. Lead vocal probably just a couple dB, get them in front of the accent vocals and the layers. Drums can be forward quite a bit, and then like brass layers, like whatever's taking over as the lead, you can give it a little bit more punch and a little bit more drive. The layers are beautiful. Layers are really good. They're just taking over. They're just taking over the vocal early on.
Shared with those within, flowers in your hair, rhythm from the skies, as breaths and streams cry out into the night.
I mean, really, really beautiful, beautiful vocal structure. Isaac, welcome in. Aria, thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate you being here. If anybody wants to submit music, everything's at the link in my bio. We are doing consultations only now. So if you want to submit, everything's at the link in my bio. You can either submit at the lower tier, or if you want to go faster, of course, it's completely up to you. Sure, no worries.
Every song and dance, yeah, it feels like home. And my heart
That's fine.
still be waiting.
I will say that we're doing only consultations, like the paid consultations right now. They start at 10, or you can go faster if you want to go faster. It's up to you. But they are really detailed. They're like 20 minutes plus a piece. So every song that we listen to, we listen for like 20 to 30 minutes. We go back through the song multiple times. So if it is you produced, or you said the music is AI or whatever, or you wrote it and the music is AI, whatever. It limits our ability sometimes to talk through things that you have control over, right? Because we spend a lot of time, especially in this life, talking about mix, production details, you know, vocal structure, songwriting, stuff like that. So the main thing that we can do when it comes to your song would just be talking about songwriting, song structure, phrasing, things like that. Some things that, you know, obviously the AI really struggles with a lot of times, even if you're pouring in your own lyrics or whatever, you know, the consistency of the phrasing is usually pretty off. A lot of like the vocal line consistency, melodic consistency is pretty bad. So there's things like that we can talk about, if that would be beneficial to you, if you think that would be valuable. But I try to do my best to give as much value as possible and help with things that you have control over, help with things that you're able to kind of edit and you know, shift a little bit. And also, if you are using AI, seeing if there's any way that would be beneficial for you to work with a real vocalist or work with someone who can help build out that production structure. So you do have publishing rights, you do have mechanical rights, and you do have control over your music again. Rhythm of the World, thanks for tapping in. Everything's at the link in my bio.
I woke up from a dream that slipped away.
Yeah, if we can allow this vocal attack, if we can allow this vocal to breathe a little bit, again, I know it's still pre-mixed, but if we can let it breathe, open it up a bit to where we have a little bit more energy and a little bit more vibrancy behind that mix, I think it's going to really show the engineer and like show who you go to just how much like potential energy there is in the song, so it doesn't feel too suppressed, it doesn't feel too restrained, and then it's kind of hard to figure out like where should these certain things go, where should we position these different things. Better, you know, obviously the better your sources, the better your production mix is going to be, the better that early mix is, the better the mix will be, the better that mix, the better the master, and the better the listener experience, right? So as early on as you can like position and balance these things, the better. And let me get into this last section here. This isn't a rap only one. No, not at all. FIB, not at all. Today, I gotta be honest with you, it's been all over the place. It's a super analytical live. Like I said, for these consultations, they're like 20 to 30 minutes a piece. They're deep dives. We're really diving into the details of the music over the couple different listens we go through on the song. For that reason, we get a lot of variety because it's not a hype live. It's not just do I like your song or don't like your song. It's not just like for exposure or not. No, they don't have to have. We've had a couple instrumentals today. I work full time as a producer and a session musician as well as instrumentalist doing mixing and mastering, but a lot of my business is session work and production work. So we get a lot of producers and instrumentalists and musicians in here as well. So it doesn't have to have lyrics or a lead vocal at all. But yeah, we've had everything from metal to classic country to hip hop and R&B, pop, opera. It's all over the place, man. It's all over the place. It's at the link in my bio. Now we have this line closed, or we have the free line closed, just because we typically do like a free 2-minute listen and then a quick note at the end. But now that line is closed because we're getting a little bit towards the end. So you can still submit for a consultation if you want to. And all of that also is at the link in my bio. But the consultation is where we dive in for 20 to 30 minutes, break down the production, sound design choices, formatting, stuff like that. All right, let's go a little deeper here. Let me skip forward a bit.
I'll see you again in Mexico. I'll see you.
Yeah, because right now this we have like a trap down for the snare, right? Like we have our switch off for the snare, so it's all open tom structure and like open snare right now, and we don't have any of like the energy behind building up that production structure right there. So that's going to be really important with the guitars, with the percussion, and making sure that this is all positioned really well, that it feels vibrant, it feels really, really energetic. Because in my brain, I hear that this is like supposed to be, I hear that it's like supposed to be the climax of the song. I hear the high vocal layers. I obviously hear your like really distinct ad libs and vocalizing and stuff like that. Beautiful job with all of that. But we need to make sure that the production supports that and gives you a solid foundation to float away with some of those other elements at the top. Like whether it's some of the stylizing we're doing, some of the riffing that we're doing on the road, there's a beautiful roads in the background, like some of that stuff we can start to like maybe position out, get a nice wide chorus or phaser on that roads if it's not there already, to get that out in stereo and kind of widen up this a little bit as well. So again, it doesn't feel like anything's too shrunk down, too small, too narrow, even before we send this to engineers.
Again in Mexico.
Layers are beautiful. I love having this loop in the background of great vocal structure. Like that consistency, I think, is beautiful. I want to start it at the beginning of this, and we can kind of figure out where we need to cut off, because I think we might be able to do it earlier than you think, because it kind of goes on this for the next like minute and a half. It's like a minute and a half of this part of the structure, and then you fade. I think we might be able to cut a decent chunk off. So let's start here.
I'll see you
Minute and a half.
Mexico.
So build this up, drums in, tons of energy. Get the drums nice and loud, open up the guitar, stereo roads, punchy vocal. And then maybe here, start to fade drums here. Drums come out, vocals stay going, start to build in the layers. And then like, or just keep the drums in, honestly, keep the drums in. We're like a full 16 bars. Even just that, right? So even just like there, and we bring it all the way down to 0, you do a full full 4 measures at least, like a full 4 measures, 4 progressions at the top, where you go all the way through it. We build up the drums, all those choir layers come in, and then you start fading. That right there quite literally saves you like 50 seconds. That saves you, because otherwise it just keeps going. Nothing wrong with that, but it just keeps going for like another 45, 50 seconds. You could do a full 4 bars right there, fade out for another full 4 bars with all of the strings and the drums, ad-libs in the background, and you just fade out while you're doing the ad-libs and just start to kind of slowly shrink the song. And you do quite literally bring it down to like 4 minutes and 10 seconds versus, 5 minutes and 4 seconds. That's going to consolidate the song. It's going to make it tighter, more cohesive. And it's going to like maintain that energy better, because what will happen is like there's kind of a peak, there's kind of a crest to the dynamics of the song where you have the high dynamics, but if you keep that high dynamic for too long, right, in this case a minute and a half at the exact same dynamic range, largely speaking, then it starts to crest a little bit and it starts to dip where it's like, okay, now Now, I've heard this before. The brain starts to tune it out. It starts to lose steam and lose energy, and it starts to crumble, right? So from that point of view, if you keep it strong for 4 measures, it's the climax of the song, it's energetic, it's punchy, and then we fade out from there, you control that shift. You control that dynamic range, and you bring it down intentionally, and there's never even a chance for it to lose steam or lose energy. What's up, drummer Doug? Good to see you. I appreciate you tapping in. And that's what I think. And then you also save, 45 seconds. Y'all show some love. Show some love, show some love, show some love. That's the family in the building. Attack the Sound. It's been a long time. I'm so glad to hear that you're still making music, man, that you found a new band, that you're able to still, chip away at this stuff. Once this gets mixed, I can't wait to hear it. Because this is still pretty raw. This is still pretty, imbalanced going into the mix process. So I'm thrilled with the musicianship, with the structure, with the writing, with the vocals in the background. I mean, they're beautiful. They're absolutely, absolutely beautiful. You should be so proud of the work that you're putting in, y'all. Give it up one more time for Attack the Sound. I can't wait to hear first mix. I want you to chip away at it. I want you to kind of build it out and kind of see what happens. But once you get that first mix back, man, I cannot wait to hear it because you've beautiful voice, beautiful musicianship. Sam DeRose, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you being here. Frog Queen in the building. What's up, Frog Queen? Welcome in. But y'all give it up one more time. Give it up one more time. Good morning. It's morning for you. Did you just wake up or is it actually morning for you? But yeah, man, show some love. Let's keep it rolling. We got Chris Burke in the building. Chris Burke, hop in the chat. I see you over on YouTube. Just let me know that you're here really quick. I'll give it a second because there is a little bit of a delay. There's a little bit of latency. Just woke up. That's crazy. What's up, Sammy? Welcome in. All right, there's Chris in the building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's keep it rolling. This is Kings of the Maritimes. Kings of the Maritimes reflects on the time before screens took over, when creativity came from porches, kitchens, and campfires, and back roads. Stories were shared face to face. Songs learned by ear and community built in real time. It's both a celebration and a reminder that the soul of our culture still lives in those simple connections. Let's get into it. Chris, give me the details as far as the role that you play in producing, mixing, songwriting, vocals, stuff like that. Any details on the structure of the song, I would love to know. And let's get into it. Let's get into it. We'll be closing up the line here in the next couple minutes or so. This tune is a finished product. Yeah, it's out on Spotify. So let me get this. Doesn't want to load. There we go. There we go. Hold on. This tune is a finished product already, but I'm looking forward to hearing how I can make things better with my next tracks. I'm just a lowly folk artist from Prince Edward Island, Canada. I have a simple home studio setup that involves blankets and backdrop stands for sound deadening. I love it. This will be, even, let's say you make it someday, these will be some of the most fun years that you have. I of course have, and I have a nice, studio here now, just in the home that we're renting. I've just built it out, pretty nice. But I know that I will always think back, at some point when, I feel like some major opportunities have happened. I'll always look back to these earlier times of just making it work. And so, yeah, take it all in, man. Even in these early stages of doing stuff in a way that feels, it feels simplistic, it feels barbaric, or creatively. And you'll, appreciate it while it's here, man, because you just never get that moment of your career back. Telenial, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I do the writing and most of the instruments. Drums are my buddy Elijah, amazing musician, and then send it to my buddy who works with a lot of the maritime artists, Brent Chison. Okay, beautiful. Let's get it. Or Kyson, maybe. All right, this is Kings of the Maritimes by Chris Burke.
We rode our bikes down the old harbor road, salt on our lips and the tide would explode.
That's your voice?
Skipping stones where the gulls would call. We had the world, we owned nothing at all. Cassette tapes spun and the radio sang, caught on the line and the church bells the bay. We live for the moment, and that was our way.
Beautiful, great voice.
So raise your glass to the days gone by.
Nice.
When the stars lit the ocean and the moon filled the skies. No
Great harmony.
wires, no screens,
Great
just
positioning.
the waves and the breeze. We were kings of the Maritimes, wild and free. Rollerblades clattered on cracked old streets. Kitchen parties with tapping feet.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. Your voice is awesome. Voice is really cool.
But half of the town felt like our own home. We traded cards and we sang our songs. Life was short, but the nights were long.
I love the mix on your vocal too. Super smooth, really easy to listen to.
Then, just laughter ringing through the wind again. So raise your glass to the days gone by, when the stars lit the ocean and the moon filled the skies. No wires, no screens, just the waves and the breeze. We were kings of the Maritimes, wild and free.
I was gonna say, I was like, hold on. My ears are hearing it. I was like, hold on. I didn't know if you Verispeeded. I didn't know if it was like Verispeed and it dropped down. That makes sense. What's up, Lance? Welcome in.
Still know the tide will return and the memories flow. So raise your glass to the days gone by, when the stars lit the ocean and the moon filled the skies. No wires, no screens, just the waves and the breeze. We were kings of the Maritimes, wild and free.
Yeah, really good voice. Those drums sound massive too. Great rooms, great openness.
So raise your glass to the days
Beautiful
gone
split
by,
harmony.
when the stars
Yeah,
lit
so good,
the
man.
ocean and the moon filled the skies. No wires, no screens, just the waves and the breeze. We were kings of the Maritimes, wild and free.
Everything's at the link in my bio. We're consultations only now, just so y'all know. Man, show some love. Show some love. That is Chris Burke. They're on YouTube right now, just so y'all know, so y'all know who I'm talking to over there. Excuse me, that is Chris Burke. Beautifully done, man. You have such, I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting that. Excuse me, beautiful, beautiful vocal structure. I think your harmonies are gorgeous. The mix on your vocals, I love. Might be one of my favorite. I mean, there's a lot of things I love about this. The drums sound stadium. The drums sound massive and open. Your vocal mix is so smooth and even. There's nothing harsh or abrasive about it at all. It's so great to listen to. So tasteful. PDs, welcome in. Or PDZ, welcome in. I said PDs. PDZ, welcome in. I appreciate you tapping in. Good to see you. Really beautiful open structure for the vocal there. There's one thing I want to hear on the acoustic guitars when we go back through the song, but I think you're executing within the space and within this genre in a really, really beautiful way. I mean, it has some really open PDs, PDZ, you know, whatever, tomato. But you're executing in this genre and in this space in a really, really beautiful way, especially in this kind of folk space. I think you're executing in an absolute gorgeous way. One of the things I was curious about was tuning. I didn't know if y'all Verispeeded. I didn't know if you went to tape and detuned or slowed it down by just like a 2 or 3 BPM at the end of mastering. Because I was hearing, I was like, wait, hold on. I was like, okay, I know it's in G major, just ear-wise. It was G major. Like I was trying to follow those chords, but I was like, man, something's sounding sharp. But it makes sense that it was then tuned to 432. Because I was like, man, I know I'm hearing something that's kind of driving me, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but it was like driving me nuts. I was like, everything was like tuned. No, I play in 432. And so So you're playing in 432, but nothing was shifted afterwards. Pee Wee, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Maddie Max in the building. What's up, Maddie Mac? Playing 432. So then you're tuning everything. You're tuning everything to 432, right? Even the vocals, because then the vocals you can hear are locked into that as well, which is awesome. Which is awesome if that's the case. Everything kind of tuned into that same space. Evelyn Yates, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Chris, just saw you hopping on TikTok. I know it's a little bit faster over here too. There's a little bit more delay. Everything's at the link in my bio. I'll be closing up here in a little bit. We're only doing consultations here for the rest of the live. So it's the only line that's open. But if you want to get in, you definitely can. These are detailed. They're detailed. They're really like long format breakdowns. Beautiful. Okay, let's run it from the top. Let's listen for a couple things. There's one thing in the acoustic guitar I was curious on. This is more of tune everything, perform live in 432. Dude, amazing. That's really cool, man. Props to you. Flowers. Y'all show some love. Chris Burke, let's run it from the top. Let's dive into a couple things. One of the only things balance-wise and kind of energy-wise that I was curious about was the double-tracked acoustic like levels and energy of the strumming pattern on your first verse. To me, they kind of drown out the vocal a little bit. They kind of limit some of the expression of the song right there. I would love some small dynamic shifts of even just energy behind strumming pattern on the first verse versus the hook and maybe even second verse. That's one of the only things that I heard. It just takes over a little bit. And so I lose a little bit of the vocal structure, and I would love to open it up just a little bit more. Acoustic is the thing I always have the hardest time with. I mean, you're doing a great job, honestly. You're doing a fantastic job. Musicianship is great. The mix is really nice. That's one of the few things. So let's run it from the top. Love the intro though. Like all of this is great. It feels beautiful. It feels open. I think it's awesome.
We rode our bikes down the old harbor road.
Thank you for the follow. Like I would almost you don't have to do this necessarily, but in my brain, I'm almost kind of curious. Thank you for the follow as well, Chris. Almost curious like what it would sound like, not without the acoustics there necessarily, but just dramatically changing the energy behind them, because that to me is like we hear it right on the intro. The energy changes. The energy stays exactly the same dynamically going into the verses, but we've removed a lot of the open drum structure. We've removed like the high wind instruments and stuff like that. And so that's where I'm like we're maintaining a lot of the same energy going into the verse, so we don't get that like push and pull of the dynamic as much of it being loud and powerful and anthemic, and then feeling intimate and smaller and vulnerable. So that's one of the this really is an awesome song with an awesome mix and awesome musicians. I think you did a great job vocally. There's really not much wrong at all with this, but it's one of the things I wish I got more of, was it feeling bigger and brighter, and then smaller and darker as we get into the verses and stuff like that. And because the acoustic is straight through, I think that does keep it a little bit stronger.
Harbor road, salt on our lips and the tide would explode. Skipping stones where the gulls would call. We had the world, we owned nothing at all. Cassette tapes spun and the radio.
Like I would love for them to maybe even like come in right here or come in different. Like maybe where's my? I don't even know. That acoustic needs new strings behind me. Where's my other one? Oh, it's like on the floor back there. Whatever. I won't mess with it. But almost like palmy boom, 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 boom. Like when you go to the E minor right there, like maybe like palm muted or something like that on the verses, so it kind of draws everything in. It feels a little tighter, still wide. Hold on. Let me see. This is not, I don't even know if this is, I don't think it's in tune at all because it's been sitting on the floor while I'm redoing stuff in the studio here. But just for the sake of, let me see. Let me put on my headphones again. I'm not gonna like play through the song, but just kind of the, yeah, this is not gonna be in tune at all. Where's my, so if like your main structure, geez. It's good enough for now. I'll deal with that later. Like, you know what I mean? Like if that's like the main part of the structure there, And then don't listen to the tuning. And you open it up from there. That's kind of what I'm imagining. And it's so that it just doesn't interrupt that vocal. If it's all that really open structure, if it's all full open strumming the whole time, it just kind of, it limits my ability to like hear the dynamic range. It really is. It really is. It is a fantastic melody. I mean, the whole song is awesome. But it limits my ability to just kind of appreciate like your context and lyrical structure in the verses, which of course is kind of the core of, you know, what we're listening for there. I want to make sure that I'm hearing the story. Like you said, you're a great storyteller. You're a great songwriter. I really want to hear that story and feel it. And I think the acoustic just detracts from that a little bit. So in the future, especially if you're working on more like folk records like this, keep that in mind of how you can strategically change dynamics by your either, you know, going from open strum into a picking pattern, or you finger picking, or open strum into a palm mute or fabric mute. Like sometimes I'll tie a piece of cloth around the neck of the guitar and still strum from there, but it kind of softens and dampens and mutes everything. You can do some interesting things to kind of change your dynamic range naturally without the whole thing being full force. And that'll give you more dynamics. It'll make your hook feel more vibrant compared to the verses, so on and so on. Like little things like that. It's a good sounding guitar though, like mix wise, again, everything's really nice.
Fire on the edge of the bay. We live for the moment, and that was our way. So raise your glass to the days gone by, when the stars lit the ocean and the moon filled the skies. No wires, no.
Beautiful. I mean, also great. I mean, like I already said, great vocal structure. Your harmony is absolutely gorgeous. I think it's fantastic. All right, let's get into the next little pocket here. Let's move forward just a little bit.
Wild and free.
Is that a layer of a couple things in the background right there? I don't know if it is, or if it's a couple things that are maybe happening. If that is like a fiddle with maybe a layer to it, or it's like filtered down or something like that, or if it's a different instrument, you can of course let me know. I would love an open fiddle right there. Maybe that's too folky. Maybe that's too Celtic. You know, I don't know. I don't, you know, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. But I would love to have that. A couple fiddle layers and a mandolin. Okay, maybe that's a couple of those things in the background there that I feel like yeah. I would maybe love for like one of the fiddle layers to be more forefront. You know what I mean? Like maybe take one of them a little bit more center stage. You should. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying. I was like, I should have like, I mean, that would be dope, Marcus. That'd be amazing if after my feedback you got that. That'd be sick. I think that'd be amazing. But either way, I do appreciate you a lot. Okay, but it would be nice to have one of those fiddles take center stage, be a little bit more forward, a little bit more direct, so we can hear it pop forward as a lead element. It's still a little bit suppressed back. One that would be like a lead main one, supported by, you know, maybe one other layer of fiddle or two other layers of fiddle, and the mandolin following the same melody to give it kind of the pluck, give it a little bit of the energy in the background. But it would be nice to have one that takes a bit more of a center stage, so we get a good, clean lead top line to kind of replace the vocal when it's not there. Still a little bit back in the mix, and I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit more forward. So it's something to keep in mind if you're going to shift with like either whether it's like, you know, bagpipes or a lead guitar or a lead fiddle or whatever's going to come into the mix on any of your breakdowns on a future record. Just make sure that it does take that center stage, so that it's kind of almost like replacing the vocal as the lead element on your interludes. I'm just getting to the outro here, but this is, yeah, awesome record. I'm such a fan. I think you're really, really talented, man. I love it.
So raise your glass to the days
Love this.
gone by,
Big
when the
snare.
stars lit the ocean
Tons of
and the moon
reverb.
filled the skies. No wires, no screens, just the waves and the breeze. We were kings of the Maritimes, wild and free.
So pretty. And once you get into this hook, those acoustics take their role, right? Like that's what I want to make sure is clear too. Like it's just like on the verses, I want to get more restraint so the hooks open up a little bit more. But once you get into the hook, those acoustics are doing exactly what you want them to do. They're wide, they're bright, they're vibrant. They sound absolutely gorgeous. I'm not worried about it in any sense at all. It's just creating more dynamic range, a little more push and pull, more ups and downs. But I think everything that you're doing, man, is so well executed. Please show some love to Chris Burke Music right here in the chat. I think you're fantastic. I'm a big fan of what you do, man. Great musicianship. It is an awesome mix. You're working with some great musicians as well. You should be very, very, very proud of the work that you're doing, man. Awesome, awesome job. Let's keep it rolling. We're going to keep it flowing. Absolutely. Anytime, man. Anytime. I appreciate you a lot. Vendor, let me know if you're in the building. Vendor, let me know if you're in the building. Let's keep it rolling here. Last couple tracks, y'all. Last couple tracks. I'm going to go ahead and close submissions. Boom. Submissions are closed. Let me know if Vendor is in the house, in the building. Wait, Marcus, are you Vendor? Remind me really quick. just so I make sure I connect the two, because sometimes I get confused. That's it. Okay, got you. Sorry if you're losing viewers because of this, but how can I get this less cheesy? Okay, let's get it. All right, let's dive in, man. I'm excited. Let's get into it. How do I get this less cheesy? Perfect. Any notes? Drop them in the chat. This is Yesterday by Vendor. Just so you know, it's just Marcus right here in the chat. A little reverse in there. That's cool. Cool. No worries.
Yesterday was all I like. You give a compound to the loneliness. You ain't so lonely. Oh, you always sound alive. Yesterdays are all alike. Oh, you only it's not what you expect it to be.
I am not a financial auditor, no. Not in any way. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
And you got only heart when you listen. Got only heart upon your inhibition. Got only heart in your middle.
How are you doing drums?
And you got only heart when you listen. Got only heart upon your inhibition.
Okay, cool. Are you in MIDI or is it loops?
And yesterday was all alike.
MIDI? Got you.
You went so far to belong.
Oh, that's it. Is there supposed to be more, or is that just kind of where you have the file chopped right now? You're good, Margaret. I can read between the lines. I get it, man. I get it. It's terrible. It's terrible for me too. I can't talk. I can't talk. You can't spell. That's fine. Let me know if there's supposed to be more to that file, or if that's just the file that you have for right now, and then we'll break it down. We'll dive into it. Either way, y'all show some love to Marcus. Show some love to Vendor. Just keep going the same next verse. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. So let's consolidate. Let's get into it. I don't think hold on, my screen turned off. To me, it's not necessarily cheesy, as I think we can make some strategic sound design choices to darken it a little bit. I think some of what I hear is it's like a really bright, thin, like piccolo snare. That makes it feel more contemporary and like thinner and poppier. And I think what that does is it makes the guitars feel a little bit like brighter and poppier. And I think if we just darken this and mellow it out a little bit, make it feel a little bit more ethereal, a little bit more moody, then it won't feel as cheesy by default, because I don't think the structure of it is. Some of it's the bass too. We'll talk about the bass really quickly. The boom, 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 boom. Those little lifts right there, some of them pull it out of key a little bit, and then also again, give it kind of a pop that feels like it's pulling it out of maybe your intentional, your earliest intention of kind of the vision of the song. So if we can refocus our attention to point the song exactly where we want it to be and put it exactly where we want it, then I feel like we'll be in a good space. Willie, I would love to. I don't think I'm going to be live again. I'm not going to be live tomorrow. I don't think so, but I will be live again Friday. So if y'all do want a consultation, if you do want a detailed breakdown of your music, you want to, or even just a quick listen and a spin, we also offer those as well, just for free. But if you want to deep dive in your music, we'll be live again on Friday. Just make sure that you're following, make sure that you're tapped in either on YouTube, Twitch, or of course here on TikTok as well. So let's run it from the top. But I don't think you're far off, Marcus. I just think it's going to be some strategic decisions that we make in shaping your sound that will help you out a little bit. And I'll help you however I can. Thanks for the follow, Willie. I appreciate it. I'm going to pull up some drums while we're closed up, Asset. Appreciate you tapping in, though. We'll be live again on Friday. I'm going to pull up some drums. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Let's pull up some... I'm gonna pull up some drums here. Let's get a crazy reverb on it. So even here, right? Even here, right? I'm just gonna layer what I have. It's still a cranked snare. It's still got some energy to it, right? It's still got, it's still got a little bit of drive behind it. But what it does is it just kind of wakes it up. I'm gonna show you this. TikTok gets annoyed with this. I'm gonna show you. It's free drums. So you're on Logic. These are free drums. You can get them yourself too. It's with Spitfire audio. So I'm gonna show you, even though TikTok doesn't like it. Boom, right? So this is Labs by Spitfire Audio. So if you get Labs, I have like 40 gigs, 30 to 40 gigs of samples and of not even samples, but VSTs that are built into Labs here. Just tons. So get Spitfire Labs. Get Spitfire Labs and get their drums. Now they have more, like there's some vintage drums here we can look at if you want something deeper and thuddier and, a little more like 60s, like dead drums kind of stuff. I can play that too. But even this one, this is just the basic one. But what you'll hear is like really, really good. I'm going to turn them up a little bit. Really good. It's just the standard drums, not the vintage drums. You can hear all the different samples though. There's like 6 different hits in there. So it allows you to do the... Hold on, where's that? It sounds still like really organic and it sounds more real. So that to me, we start here. Start with the electrics, get okay, nice, you have it, beautiful. The electrics nice and wide. I'd have some chorusing. A Bucket Brigade chorus would be beautiful. A Bucket Brigade chorus, I think, would sound awesome on there, depending on what you have. But even just, a chorus with some good modulation to it on those electric guitars. Get them nice and wide with some reverb, and then bring in, once the vocals come in, you can hear all these just feel snappier and poppier and thinner. What's up, Tep? open that up with some chorus, and then here, you know. That's a totally different feel. Original. Right. Like totally different. That difference right there. Thank you for the galaxy, man. Dude, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But like that difference. That difference to me, that's everything. That's everything. That's it changes the energy of the song. It changes the whole vibe. Open up those guitars. So I think when you go to the hook, you know, big energy from the vocals, even a lower register, big energy in the vocals. Go back into, yeah, this is it too. Switch out the drums. You already have the plugin, so switch out the drums, give it what it needs on the percussion side. I would also distort the bass a little bit. It's a little clean. So part of the cheesiness you were mentioning, dude, 100%. But the cheesiness you're mentioning is things kind of being a bit clean in different parts as well that I would love to dirty up a little bit, right? So the bass is a little bit clean, give it some distortion, you know, give it some drive so it's a little fuzzier, switch out the drums, amp up the guitars and the vocal structure, and you're going to be in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spot. Man, y'all show some love to Marcus. Marcus, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. Please don't spam the chat, y'all, otherwise you will get muted. I appreciate y'all tapping in. But MRKI or Markle or Marky, whatever it is, and XD, make sure y'all aren't spamming the chat. No, you're totally good. You're totally good. I know some lives tell you to spam the chat in order to create engagement, but that's not what we do here. Line is currently closed for submissions, but we're going to be live again Friday. I think I'll be off tomorrow as far as live stream goes, just going to work on other projects. But we will be live again on Friday. So definitely just make sure that you're following, get your music ready. We'll open up lines for consultations and everything else on Friday as well. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Thank y'all so much for being here. But man, Marcus, y'all please show some love. That is yesterday. And let me see here. I'm gonna go back over here. Yesterday, why is it's not popping on here? By Vendor. I just wanted to get the right artist name on there too. Yesterday by Vendor. I honestly, you said, you know, cheesy early on. I can't wait for you. Man, Marcus, thank you so much, dude. Thank you for the galaxy, man. Thank you so much for the galaxy, man. I appreciate your generosity, man. More than you know. Thank you so much, man. That's a lot of love. I really don't think that the structure itself is cheesy. It's just sound design, right? This is the fun part. This is the fun part of the music side where you can take exactly what you have, execute good vocal structure, polish up guitars, mess with the drums and the bass, and your early cheesy song feels really lifelike. You know what I mean? Like it feels really alive. It feels like really interesting to listen to and not in any way cheesy. Because I don't think what you have there is cheesy. I just think it needs polish. It just needs some editing and some morphing to kind of make it what you want it to be. More like, that's so valid. That's so valid, Marcus. That's so valid. Y'all show some love, man. I've never related to anything more in my life. It's like when people are like, dude has a Juno and this camera and a Juno and a DX or whatever. Like they like start talking about this and it's like, bro is like loaded. I'm like, no, just irresponsible. I mean, I use it for my business, so it's whatever, but, just irresponsible. But y'all show some love. I'm really not. I'm very, very responsible with my money and my gear. But anyways, y'all, please show some love to Marcus. You know I love what you do. Absolutely love what you do, man. I can't wait to hear how you grow this song and make it what it's going to be. Nolden, let me know if you're in the chat. Nolden, let me know if you're in the chat. The same, dude. Same. I mean, yeah, you've had it crazy. You've had it crazy, and you've also used it to support your business, and like keep streams going and like keep songs, happening. Let me know if Nolden's in the building. If not, let me know if Halftime's in the building. Let me know if Halftime's in the building. Nolden or Halftime. I pay for expensive therapy for my daughter. Valid. Can you follow me? Wow, what a great bit. Where'd you get? I just literally just started messing it around right now. I just started making it up. Tamashi Trying, welcome in. Thanks for joining over on YouTube. I see you. I just see you. I don't even remember. It's this one. Labs, Spitfire. That's why I love these. It sounds like, it sounds like real drums because it is, but it's sampled really well. This is where it comes to life though. Here's where we have some fun. Go in here. We're going to do a revision A because these are snappy. I have an audioscape of this literal exact compressor coming in soon. We're going to put it at an 8. Yeah, no, I wish it was that easy. I sold 3 drum sets. I had 3 drum sets. I sold 3 drum sets. I'm getting a new one in hopefully this next week. All things considered. We'll go a little fast-ish, but I'm gonna go very, very fast release. We're gonna go a little bit slower on the attack, and then we're gonna push. Come on, it's nasty. It's nasty. A little bit less. Drive it a little bit higher, and then we're gonna come in here. And this is the power, man. This is the power. And then we're gonna come down here. We're gonna go an AQP. I know it's like an open snare. It's like an open snare. We're gonna go 100 hertz. We're gonna give it a little lift. You hear? It sounds like you're in the room with some real drums. I'm gonna go. We're crushing it a little bit. We're crushing it a little bit. This is just fun. Sorry, we're just messing around. We're just having a good time. I have not tried it, but it sounds wonderful. So we're gonna push this 100 hertz a little bit. I want a softer broadband here. So the bandwidth is gonna be a little bit softer, so it's not affecting so tightly. It's got some thump to it. But we're also gonna give it a little bit of a dip curve right here. Could you just get paid? If people, I would just be open with people. I'm like, hey, if you want these drums that sound this way, if I don't have like a steel snare, which I don't, I have an 8.5. I have an 8.5 inch Mapex snare that I use for like the thick stuff that I want to do for drums and stuff like that. But if I don't have like a super light or like a steel or a brass snare or something like that, and I'm like, hey, I have this one. So what I could do is I could trigger replace. So that's probably what I would do if they wanted this. I have a trigger. I forget what it's called. It's one I got a while back, but I have a trigger replacement plugin that I use. If I gate my snare really, really tightly, I can replace it with a different one. And then I'll use the rest of the other drums when I get them in. You said what drum kit? It's a Gretsch. It's a Gretsch Satin Flame. It's a Gretsch Catalina. It's beautiful, dude. It's so gorgeous. It's got like the vintage satin flame finish. And then some K custom dark cymbals. I already have some K custom. I've had some other A's and stuff like that, but I sold some of them to get this other set. So I have a K cluster a K cluster crash. I'm going to get the full set of K custom darks. They're just stupid expensive, but okay. And let's open up this 8 right here. Right in here. And then oversaturated, but that's literally the difference. That's literally the difference between these. It's so cute. It's so cute and so clean. But what I like about this is if I just crush this, so like, let's take this mix and just obliterate it with Decimort. We'll take Decimort 2. We're just having fun. And I got to get out of here. I'm going to downsample it a little bit. Add some jitter. I'm going to push the preamp. We're going to crush it. And then this would be something you could just use for like hip hop and stuff. We'll just, it almost, that's nasty. That's so distorted and crazy. Anyways, this was fun. All of that from just this. It's so dainty. It's so dainty. It's so dainty and little and quiet. Obviously, it's not level matched. It sounds nuts. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. It's fun. Just whatever. I got a moment. I got a second here. So here's what we're going to do. Just because it's fun, just because we're having a good time. We're going to go. Just for fun. We're just having fun. We're just having a good old time. Kington, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Absolutely, man. Thanks for hanging out. I'm hopping off of here in a second. We're closed and I'm getting out of here, but I just want to have some fun. It's fun to have some fun. So let's get out of here. I haven't, just because I get distracted too easily. But here's the thing is, like, when I'm doing the breakdowns and everyone's in here, they're trying to get heard, they're trying to get in line, then people hang out and they do it. As soon as I start like producing and doing stuff, it goes down to 0 to 2 people. And so I don't typically just because it gets boring and I tend to like taking my time sometimes, instead of, like rushing through things. And so anyway, yeah, I get focused, but also just, it kind of depends. It kind of depends on, here's what we're going to do. Let's go to where are we? What are we doing? Yeah, we're going to get it. We're going to have some fun for a second. I don't really care. We're just going to have some fun. We're going to add a picked bass. We're going to add a picked bass here. We're going to distort it. And then we're going to add some synths. We're just having fun. This is fun to chill for a second too. I'll be off in a moment. Got Expand last week? Dude, it's so cool that it's free with Pro Tools. I want to mute. Where's my mute? Where's my mute bass? I feel chosen. Let's go. It's fun. Hold on. we'll just do this. We'll just do this. Let's dial this back a hair. Let's dial this back a hair. Bring it down. Let's give it some breathing room. Let's give it a little bit of breathing room. I'm literally just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this as simple and as I don't even care what this becomes. I'm just gonna have some fun. It's just bass. It's just bass. There's no synth. There's no synth. It's just the bass. It's just the bass. Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're only on your phone, you're probably not going to hear it that well. But here's what I will do. I will EQ it to help you out a little bit. I will EQ it to help you out. Let's do a mid EQ for the Pultec mid EQ, and we'll open it up just a little bit here. We'll give it a nice little like 500 boost right here. We'll give it a little dip at like 1K right here. Take some of that out right here, and then we'll boost again at like 4. We'll get some string attack in here. Let's see. Yeah, we're just messing around. We're just messing around. It's literally not even on the grid. I have no idea what BP. I'm just free. We're freeballing this whole thing. I have no idea what what BPM is going on here. I'm going to saturate this bass, but I'm only going to saturate the top end. It's one of the things that I really like about this. Slim, you're wild. You're wild. You're wild. Inside joke is wild. Okay, we're going to keep low ends. We're only going to saturate the top. We're going to just saturate the top here. There we go. Hell yeah. Bring down the outs. All right. Let's come down here. Let's get a nice little wobble. Let's do a profit. Just an inside joke is absolutely crazy work. He's the only one who knows. The only one he knows. We need a faster LFO, so let's push it. Retrack. No, yeah, that where I'm actually hopping off. I'm supposed to be off like 20 minutes ago. I was supposed to be out of here like 20 minutes ago, but I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. We started talking about drums and bass on the last track, and this happened. For the hell of it. I'm not worried. This will be deleted after this anyways. It's called ADHD. It's a fact. It's such a fact. I'm like, I actually have no clue what's going on. that's fun. That's fun. That's fun. That's fun. Let's say that. Yeah, I don't know. I might not delete it, but I am gonna edit the synth here a little bit here. So let's get into that for a sec. Let's dial a little too much ring. So this is a low. So oscillator 2. There we go. I want that crunch from the saw. I appreciate y'all. All right, let's run it back. I saw this is a triangle wave in the middle, and the second oscillator is a triangle wave. I'd rather it be a saw. The saw is going to give me the bite that I want out of this. So let's. Let's go here. There we go. It's fun. It's fun. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Hold on. We're moving it up. There we go. Let's dial back an oscillator 2. We're going to bring in oscillator 1, which is a saw. Let's go lower octave. Too far. Just 1 octave. Little noise. Little hiss. Okay. I don't mind it. Little glide. Little portamento. What's up? Yeah. Little snap in the portamento. Yeah, too much of a low glide. Anyways, we're just fucking around, just messing around with some stuff since we were talking about drums. Like, you know what? While I'm showing you this thing, let's just make some bullshit. Let's just make some bullshit. But let's also. Now I'm gonna take off the glide. I don't like the legato. I do like the little modulation though. Push oscillator 2 a little bit more. Okay. completely freestyle. It's just completely freestyle tap. So it's not on a grid at all. It's nowhere. It's nowhere close to a grid. Yeah, it's kind of living in its own world right now. All right, let's just just for the hells of it. Let's see. All we're gonna do. Last thing I gotta get out of here. But last thing I'm gonna do, just for the fun of it, is we're going to add the Studio D chorus on the last pocket 4 here, because it's gonna give us a little bit of modulation. I am leaving y'all. I've been on for 3.5 hours, but we're having fun. That's why it's happening. It's still running the profit. It's still running the profit. That's why it's messing me up. That's why. Okay. All right, now we can get out of here. Let's see. One more octave. That's fun. That's fun. Where'd my modulation go? There we go. It'll be fun to have vocals. That's fun. You can hear all that movement. Gosh, I want a mini Mokes. I mean, I have the Poly D. The only thing with the Poly D is it doesn't have the legato transitions between notes. You only have re-triggering of the oscillators. So that's the only thing I don't like about the Poly D that doesn't match this, is you don't get the smoothness between those different layers. So if I go up another octave here, and down. All right, I'm out of here. Now we're just having fun. We're wasting time, and time is money. I hear some vocal melodies. Hell yeah. You need some vocals on the show. I mean, it would be fun. It'd be fun. We'll see. Live is okay. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect timing. It literally just told me live is ineligible. Live is ineligible for the For You page because of unoriginal content. That's my time. I'm out of here. I'm literally here playing original music that's not even like recorded original music. How do I do that? And then they're like unoriginal. I feel like that's such a knock. Like what shade that as soon as I start playing original music, you're like, that's so unoriginal. Play something better. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. We're going to be live again on Friday. I love and appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for the amazing music today. Y'all have been so generous. I appreciate it a lot. We'll be live soon. Y'all have an amazing one. Peace.